so short. I forget every time. I love the music. I wish it was like 10 times longer.
I know, like do.
Then it's over.
Yeah, I'm like, this is like a jazz hand wave. She's like,
Yeah. That should be, yes, that should happen. Yes. So hello. It looks like it might just be Carla and I on, but we are celebrating Galentine's Day with. I have no idea what we're going to be talking about. I did make an outline, but it's like I made it in 2 seconds flat. And I even put on there, what does friendship mean to you? And I'm like, Aaron, this is the stupidest.
you have to have. Okay, we're not doing that unless you dig up some good background music. It has to be super cheesy, like Muzak kind of thing.
Yeah, well,
like that's the only way that would work.
Let's see. This probably won't work. Nah, that.
We gotta make it work.
What does friendship mean to you, Carla? Or let's see here. There's dance pop. That's not very. I always forget.
I can't dance to this.
I know. This is daydreaming.
This sounds dangerous.
Dangerous.
When friendship turns to murder.
It's called daydreaming.
It sounds like walking alone at night.
Here's the porn one. What does friendship mean to you?
Well, I know what friendship can mean.
I forget now that I have access to these, so it's like this is going into space.
Going into space?
This hey, Bex is here.
Hi, Bex.
Oh,
yay!
So, Bex, what does friendship mean to you?
I saw that question. I was like,
I know. That's why
we're making it as cheesy as possible.
Yeah. It means love and care and support and knowing when I need to be alone as well as when I need someone with me.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
How's that?
That was deep. That was so
I love
good.
it.
That
yes.
was so good.
Those were actual things that make sense. Here's mine.
Oh, okay.
Friendship means caring. It means devotion. It means that you don't ask for my fries, you order your own. It means we watch the movies that I want to watch, and sometimes also yours.
It means you watch Ted Lasso, Kimberly.
Yeah, Kimberly. We should have said that yesterday when we were recording.
The meaning of friendship is sharing, mostly you giving me stuff that we can share, and then like also fries. Stuff that's just for me.
Mm-hmm. Like fries.
Like fries. I mostly just want fries. Okay, if you're my friend, you buy me fries.
And like not the crappy kind, like good fries.
No.
Five Guys.
No. Five Guys, yes.
That's a true friend.
That is, yes. I love it. And you also go to the CVS on February 15th and you buy me all of the half-price chocolate.
This is what friendship.
Where's Meg? Is she not listening?
She's not my friend anymore. I'm kidding.
She chose a Super Bowl party over us. All these people chose Super Bowl parties over us.
Listen, even when my team played, I was like, meh.
Yeah, because friendship means to me choosing us over your other friends.
It means that your real life people matter less. It means that you leave them behind to their Super Bowl watching in favor of sitting, maybe with pants on, maybe not, it's up to you, doing a live stream about friendship with your real friends.
Real friends.
Yes, exactly. Because I tell you, I am scratching all of you all off of my. Just kidding.
You're
We're
gonna go
safe,
check.
Carla. We're safe.
Yep. From now on, it's just Carla and Bex on my show.
That's it.
Well, what friendship means to me is listening to me when I recommend things and actually watching what I recommend you watch and liking all the same actors I like, all the same music I like, never disagreeing with me. Friendship means I never have to say I'm sorry. You do. I never do.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Yes.
Very
You know,
selfish.
This is what friendship should mean to Kim. When her food came, when we were podcasting, we ordered food. Her food came and it had dairy on it, and she can't have dairy. Friendship is me calling the restaurant and saying, "No, you will bring us another one, please," and saying, that you will also give us a discount on that.
There you go.
See, now she should really
Yes.
watch Ted Lasso.
See?
Hello, Kimberly. I mean, come on.
You owe your digestive health to Bex.
She claims that she's got a problem with Jason Sudeikis, and I'm like,
How?
because one time on the subway she saw him, and well, he kind of like was trying to be like hiding his under his hat and like not wanting to be said hello to, and it's like, the dude just wanted to be left alone on the train.
Yes.
She's like, nope,
Yeah.
I don't care. I didn't even want to say hi to him. It was just his attitude, and now I don't even. I'm like, you're killing me. You're killing me.
Kim,
Ugh.
listen. And okay, I say this as somebody who hasn't yet watched Ted Lasso, but who is going to, more likely than not. You should watch it because your friend, whom you know personally, has been asking you to watch this probably for months now. It's my
I
solid
gave up.
guess.
I gave up. I'm trying like this reverse psychology tactic now. Like, I don't even want you to watch it. It's fine. More
You
Ted
know what?
Lasso for me.
Jason Sudeikis is actually kind of a jerk in it, and it just kind of reinforces everything that you thought about him. And everybody calls him out on it. And everybody on it is like, I bet you go into subways and don't let people say hi to you either. And he's like, I you know what? Maybe I do. I don't know what he talks like because I haven't seen it yet, as I have said. However, I'm guessing he talks exactly like I do.
I mean, pretty close, really. I mean, the accent
I've
is
seen it,
spot
yeah.
on. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I have to watch it. I mean, I'm looking forward to watching it. Sorry, I forgot, Bex, that, well, actually, no, wait, I'm not sorry, because remember, friendship means to me, I never have to say sorry. Everybody else does.
I didn't ask you to apologize. See, I know that you're going to watch it because we're doing an episode on it. So
Yeah,
I
so I
have
kind
to.
of have to,
But I didn't
because I do. for people.
pressure you into it. I just suggested. I'm not like Meg pressuring you. I just said, hey,
Or
Ted Lasso
Carla
would be a good
pressuring
episode.
me.
Carla pressure. Okay, here's another tenet of friendship. When Carla suggests something, however strongly phrased that suggestion is, you just do it. Maybe the first time that she says it. And then you shut up about it and just say, thank you, ma'am.
Wow. Okay, I thought I was just
You have no idea.
I think it's so funny that you say that, Carla. When I begged and pleaded, for something, and I was just turned down flat because I see how.
Oh my God. Hi, everybody watching now or in the future. There is actually now an episode on my streaming bubble
Yes.
about the very thing that Erin is complaining about.
2 hours.
So 2 hours worth of gushing about Flip Winthorpe.
Mhm.
No.
So you should go and watch
Flint
that.
Rock.
I thought it was.
That's what I said.
I always think it's Flynn Rider, but that's because I know how much Erin loves animation.
Oh,
Bester
yeah.
Wainwright is a whole episode of 2 hours
Mhm.
on my streaming bubble that you can go and watch.
Yes.
Full weeks
Whipple?
is covered. Yes.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was so much fun, and one of the first things I said on there is, "I'm so happy to be somewhere where I know I'm not going to be teased about the fact that I love Finland." Where I'm going to be able to gush without a single moment of teasing and backtalk and making up weird names when I know for a fact that all the people that do this would actually really like Finn Whitrock if they would just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. Although Carla did recently watch a movie with him in it. So
Because Christian Effing Bale was in it.
but he was still in it.
I gotta watch that Halloween Town whatever thing that Mel recommended.
Halloween Town High.
Yeah, 2 or something.
I watched, no, it's just Halloween Town High.
Oh,
I
okay.
watched part of it before. Okay, bye music. You're annoying me. So I watched part of it before recording with Jen, and I will still do the live tweet with you, Mal, but this is so not my kind. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
But he was like a kid in that, right?
He plays a teenager, but he wasn't a teenager when he was in
Okay.
the role. But he plays a teenager. Like he's
Yeah.
like,
I
don't know
love
how
it that
old he
this is going to be one of those things where, like, he's 35 and he's playing a 19-year-old.
Listen, some people can just do that. I'm telling you. My husband, he's one of those people where when he tells people he's 47, they're like, no, you're not. You're lying. You're 32.
Oh my God.
Because he's got like jet black hair and like no grays, so he can get away with it.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting.
It's
I
really
love
awful.
I know, I suffer every day.
Sorry, it's men. A
They're
lot
the
of men are
problem.
like, men are the problem.
Mm,
Hey,
I mean,
Megan!
that's our whole podcast. Men are the problem.
Yes, that's what we're really talking about today.
That's the truth behind Galentines.
We called it. It was called Galentine's just to scare off the cis het men.
Yes.
Scare them into their football caves.
Go to your football cave.
Was Galentine's actually a thing before Parks and Rec?
I don't think it was
That
it?
was I
don't
mean
think
that's
so.
the first I heard of it,
Me
but
too.
I wondered. Yeah, that was a good invention.
Mhm.
It was. Yeah, so Megan said High School Musical really set her up for failure because of I've never watched High School Musical. Has anyone else in the world? Not in the world.
I've watched clips. Does that count?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any. Like, I know there's a scene where they dance on tables in the cafeteria.
Right.
that's
There
it.
you go.
And I've seen the meme about like the T for Troy. No, and then people always say no, T for like I don't know that.
T for T.
T for anything, like fill in the blank because it's your meme and you get to replace it. You know, it's like when he gives her the necklace. When he gives her the necklace.
Oh,
and
okay.
That's it. That's all I know.
Okay.
Clearly
Yeah.
that's helpful.
That helped a lot. Yeah.
Cleared everything up for me.
Yeah. Megan said everyone was too beautiful.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, same thing with like 90210
oh,
and
yeah, 90210 big time.
all the other shows. Like, excuse me, where was my Dylan McKay in high school?
That was one thing I liked about the Babysitters Club TV series that just came out. Like they actually cast young girls who were like 12 and 13 and maybe 14 in that. And I was like, finally, like
Yes.
this makes sense.
They look like their age on the show and it's perfect. Like, why can't it's so frustrating.
They did have to recast Dawn. That made me sad.
No.
Because it's for a good reason. They had to recast Dawn because Xochitl Gomez is playing America Chavez in the new Doctor Strange movie, and I am so excited.
Yes. She deserves
She's
it.
so
She's
good.
amazing.
She does. Oh, yes. I just watched the trailer before I came onto here, and I was like, if they ask me what I'm into right now, it's this trailer.
Speaking of trailers, did you watch the Nope trailer, the Jordan Peele trailer, the new Jordan Peele
No.
movie?
No.
Oh,
When
wow.
did
I
that
haven't
come
watched
out?
it.
Today.
All right, I'll go watch it now. I'm just kidding. BRB. Like, I'll pull a Carla. Ready?
It's so good. It looks really good, and it doesn't give away a lot, yet it is really intriguing looking. And and I can't wait for that one because I
Nice.
love Jordan Peele movies.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
and
he
Daniel
deserves.
Kaluuya is back, and then Keke Palmer is in it, and she looks really good.
Awesome.
Nice.
And then oh my gosh, Stephen Yeun is in it. Yoon is in it too. But they didn't. I think you saw him for 2 seconds in the trailer, but I can't remember. Yes. So Megan's seen it and is very excited and is raving about Keke Palmer because Keke Palmer looks amazing in the trailer. So go watch that
definitely have to
trailer.
go check it out.
I'm very excited for this. Like, oh my god, like you don't even know.
Honestly, if it hasn't shown up in my Twitter feed yet, that's the only reason I haven't seen it.
I retweeted it. Guess you just ignore me. So whatever.
You just called
I
yourself
don't
out for
ignore
having
you.
muted Aaron.
Twitter just decides these things.
I just want to read this tweet from Franklin Leonard. It says, as Jordan Peele trailers have 2 sections. 1, these folks seem like a lot of fun. I wish we could go into the movie and hang out with them. And 2, oh well, too bad they gotta go through that utterly surreal hell without me.
That's very true. Oh my
It's
gosh.
very true.
That is so accurate. Yes. And that fits that trailer perfectly.
Okay.
This makes me think especially of the trailer For Us, where you're like,
Yes.
oh, it's a family, they're going on a road trip, they're singing slightly offbeat, yay, fun. And then it's like, no, thank you.
Yes.
But it's so good.
It's so good.
So good.
And well, in this one, you get to see Daniel riding a horse. It looks so. He looks so.
I didn't even
need
an incentive to watch this movie, and
bareback.
Like, oh, shut up! I need a moment.
I don't think
Excuse
it was
me.
bareback. But Carla's gonna go watch the trailer now.
Carla's gonna go fan herself and douse herself in cold water. That's what she's gonna do.
I was like, yes, more. Show me more of him riding that horse.
Love it. Love
Yes.
it.
Yes. It looks really good. And a lot of people have said maybe it really isn't about aliens because they show like it looks like it's about aliens. And people are like, well, maybe it's not because it doesn't give away a lot, so you're not sure what it's about. So
insert meme. I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens.
Oh, that was such a good one. I love that.
Yes. So
I
Megan,
think that for every weird theory out there, the answer should just be nope.
yes.
Do you think it could be about this? Nope.
Nope.
Makes sense.
So Megan, let us know what friendship is to you in the comments.
But you have to make it super cheesy and weird.
Yes, or super selfish like mine.
Super selfish.
Yes, because that's the only way.
That's the only.
This is the way. I'm just gonna speak in memes today.
So
you can't spell friendship without I.
It's true. You can't. That's right. There's not even a me in friendships. There's not even an
But there's
us.
also not an us. So
yeah. There's just an I. An I and an E. There's an F in there. There's an R in there.
F and an R and a D. H.
You can spell my name with friendship.
You can't
What
spell
is
my name
friendship
with
about?
anything.
It's about Aaron.
Exactly. See, that's why Megan, Bex, and Carla are my only friends.
Oh.
Aw, Megan has a really sweet answer.
Food.
Friendship is the joy of
Aw.
calling someone upset and them either bringing food or just ready to create a great time so that we can forget about the problem.
Megan, you're too sweet.
Yeah, that's too sweet. No.
Get out of here with your sweetness. See, my
And
sister.
then
No, go ahead.
and then she says Aaron's the best. That's not what it really says, but that's what I'm and that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. No, see, my sister has like 3 or 4 best friends, but we all serve a purpose. It's like if she wants to hear what she wants to hear, she'll call one person. If she wants to hear like what she needs to hear, she'll call me.
Because, like, it's in the Mindy Project, best friend is not a person; it's a tier.
Exactly.
I like that.
exactly.
It's been a minute since I watched that, but yes.
Yes. And in my tier right now, Carla, Bex, and Carla are way up here. Everybody else is way down there, except for Jen. Jen is still way up there because she did let me gush about Finn Whitrock for 2 hours.
And I do feel like Erin A gets a pass.
True.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay,
There
yes.
was a little
She is.
hesitation there. So.
She's at a Super Bowl party right now.
Oh,
And I
never mind.
told her, I said, she's like, I don't even like football. I'm like, then sneak off and come on.
Why
And
are
she
Super Bowl
stopped
parties still a
talking.
thing?
She stopped talking to me. And she blocked me. I'm just kidding.
She blocked.
Love you, Erin. Because your name is also in friendship. Do you notice that you can't spell Carla or Beck in friendship? That's kind of weird. Or Megan.
Okay. All right.
See ya.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Wait, that doesn't mean that you're not my friends. It just means, it's just odd. It's something I should think about. There are a lot of people that you can't.
In your corner is where you should think about it.
I literally have an X in my name. There's not much you can do with that.
X-ray, xylophone.
What if we had like a ABC book for kids?
Those are your only options.
Hey, xylophone, you can be a musician. You can play music for all your friends until they say, oh my gosh, shut up.
That would be like 5 seconds in.
I would not say that.
That's true.
A real friend would just allow you the joy of playing the xylophone until you felt like not playing the xylophone.
So I guess my husband's not my friend either.
My
husband's a professional musician, so me doing music is like.
Well, you can't spell husband in friendship either.
No, I can't spell Sean in friendship. The H and the N, but like the rest of it. Oh, I guess it's an S. Never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Well, you can spell it, but just SHN, and it's really the same effect.
Yeah, people would get it.
Yeah. Unlike SEAN, which if you come here from Mexico and don't know much English, and everybody tells you that SEA is C, and then you look at it in the blackboard, and you're like, oh, who is named Scene? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? And you're like, Scene, it's up there, SEAN. And they're like, Sean. And I was like, why would you do that?
Irish people.
We do that a lot with words in English. Jen and I were talking about that on the Finn Whitrock episode.
Like, why does Finn have two N's?
That's not at all why we talked about it. No, we were talking about his movie Right When You Get Work. And Jen was like, so it's right when you get to work. And I'm like, no, it's right when you get work. And she's like, I was thinking, how long is this commute? And she's like, it's right, like WRITE, not right, like right. And she's like, there's so many words that are like that. They both sound the same, but they're spelled different for other things.
Mm-hmm.
Or, yeah.
Yeah, I'm already off that movie. It sounds too complicated for me to follow.
Whatever.
Erin's going to shut off her camera now.
She's going to boot me. I'm no longer in the tier.
No, you're still there because you showed up.
Thank you, Megan, for supporting my stance against Sion. And then went out with a dude named Sion.
You did?
He was not a good dude.
No, because the only good Seans are spelled with an H. It could be AWN or AUN. I'll let either one of those slide, but...
Right. No, this was a Sion. So I should have known better.
No.
I should have known better.
Yes. So I did make an outline, but it was yes. And so we can play Would You Rather has become my new fallback thing with characters we love, or we can play we can tell what our favorite things are right now. I don't know.
My favorite thing is Timothy Oliphant in Boba Fett.
Oh my god.
That's my favorite thing right now.
Well, I love him in anything.
just
Well,
like
yes,
him.
but like
Just
there's
like
this
him.
scene right before, well, not to spoil, but there's this scene where it's like a showdown in this moment, and you just get this like wide angle look at him, and he's just like not this, just straight up and down.
Is he naked?
No, but he's got that holster on, so it's like hanging off his hip, so it's like not naked,
he's
but
naked?
like you can see the naked even though he's not naked.
You can imagine.
You can
Yeah,
definitely imagine.
yeah.
Use your imagination. Even better.
Oh, I will. So the best sheriff in the galaxy. That's what Megan said.
Yes. Mhm.
Aaron, please. He's so wholesome. Yeah.
I definitely want that Timmy O versus Timmy O episode.
I know. We have got to do the Battle of the Tims. I just don't know when to do it, but we've got to do the Battle of the
2025.
2025. We're finally doing the Battle of the Tims.
Meanwhile, people are like, who? Oh.
Remember way back when?
Remember roughly 3 years ago we had discussed this? I don't remember that. Sounds good to me though. Sign me up. I'll be on the live.
So do you want to play Would You Rather? Do you want to talk about other things you're into? What do you want to do?
I
Megan.
like either, but oh yeah, Megan, because like I'm not good at coming up with would you rather. I'm happy to answer them all day, but like you want me to come up with them like, would you rather a beer or a phone? I don't know.
Would you rather a beer or a phone?
I told you I'm not good at this game.
What are we doing with the beer or the phone?
Ooh, that's a good question. Only one vibrates, which is
other one
important
might
because if you
make
have
you
it on
vibrate.
silent. Oh, that's a good point.
Or
Man,
in the answer of Big Rep, why not both? That's our default.
Hey, there you go.
But yeah, throw any would you like this or that at me and I'm happy to answer.
Okay, I'll try and think of some.
Okay.
See? It's hard.
So, because it's Galentine's Day, and this is about friendship and stuff, would you rather be friends with Ted Lasso or with Jason Sudeikis?
Oh, that's a good question.
Jason Sudeikis. Ted's optimism would grate on me after a while. Like he
I forgot I was talking to a New Yorker. That is such a Brooklyn answer.
He makes a perfect character, but like I would be like his wife. I mean neither of you have seen this, but when you get to the dynamic between he and his wife in the first season, I feel like that would be me. I'd be like, you're just too positive for me sometimes.
No, I totally get that too wholesome thing. Going back to Finn Wittrock.
What a segue.
You know, right?
When I watched the movie, which if you're a Super Bowl person, you've probably seen this, or you're a football person, My All-American, which is the most perfect title in the world for this movie. So you can guess what this movie is like. But it's about a football player played by Finn Wittrock who, you know, he's the underdog even though he's really not. But he's the underdog because he's short, okay? And I guess in football, you're not supposed to be short or something. I don't know.
Unless you're a running back.
Okay, I don't know what he was. I can't remember now, but he was something. And he's so saccharine and amazingly wholesome, and that it was the most grating and annoying girl. So I understand that because you have to have more dimension to you, and you have to also not just be good all the time. You have to be very, very bad.
The beautiful thing about Ted Lasso as a character is he is a lot more complex, but the face he shows to the world is this pure and like optimistic personality, right? But you delve into more of his issues that are kind of in the background as the show goes on. So he is a multidimensional character. just to get yourself ready when you watch him. Don't like get too annoyed by him.
But he's still too wholesome, and you want him to be a little bit more adorer and to just kind of sit in a subway in New York and put up these vibes of like, don't approach me. And
those are the vibes I put on the train. Like, don't come near me.
And yet Kim likes you, so I don't understand the problem.
Because we didn't meet on the train.
So then, Carla, would you rather? I'm going to go off the friendship thing here. Would you rather be friends with Dan Levy or Patrick?
So an actor or the character or his
from another actor plays. He doesn't even play Patrick.
Yeah,
so.
He's putting a twist on it, and it will definitely be Dan Levy.
I knew
because
that. I'm like, this is
because
stupid,
Dan
Aaron.
Levy is not shaped like a thumb, for starters.
Oh,
and
Patrick.
That wasn't me. That was Ronnie who said it. Ronnie said the man is shaped like a thumb, and I have not been able to unsee that since she said it. And I'm like, Ronnie, why do you have to be so right in such a cruel way?
Ronnie is probably the most right character in that show. So.
Yes. Yes. But Dan Levy, he's so interesting and so smart, such amazing ideas. And he seems to have like a very definitive sense of what he wants to see. Because the entire show. Oh, yes.
That's one of Carla's crushes.
Eugene Levy.
The eyebrows. Listen.
They're so hot. And okay, look, Dan, I could also look at all day. So either way you go, it's not a bad view.
You know what's so interesting? And it's kind of a relief, not like this would ever happen, but none of us will probably ever fight over the same guy.
Oh no. What? I missed it. My internet went wonky, and you're like, you know what's so interesting? And then nothing. Everything went silent. And I was like, I want to know.
I just said we would probably never fight over the same guy, so we would never have to deal with that kind of thing. Because I think we all have very different tastes from each other. Yeah. At least I have different tastes from the both of you. I don't care if you two fight over somebody, but
I think we've got enough where we can split it.
Yeah, it'll be fine. As long as it's not like a deserted island kind of thing, and there's like just Dan or Eugene Levy, and then that could get ugly.
We should play the desert island game. We're gonna put a twist on it because. Okay, well, actually, someone asked me, "Would you rather?" Nobody's asked me one. Guess nobody.
Oh my god,
Aaron. Even though I am in friendship, you cannot spell friendship without me.
We feel like you've had enough airtime, to be frank. So, like,
whoa.
Okay,
wow.
Aaron, would you rather, and sticking to the friendship thing, be? We're not even going to say Finwood Rock because I mean, you would be like, yes, that one, of course. Like, okay, we get it. Would you rather be friends with Bradley Cooper or with George Clooney?
Friends.
Just
friends.
Friends.
No benefits.
Friends.
No benefits. George Clooney. Yeah, because I think with Bradley Cooper, I would just be like the whole time, like, are you sure you want to be just friends? I feel like you want to take a bath.
I can't wait for the Bradley Cooper interview.
Yeah, that's going to be one of my questions. So Bradley.
So listen, I was thinking of taking a bath, and you probably like baths, but I also think we should conserve water. So,
yeah, as just friends.
Just as friends. Only because I really need your help. See, like I have this shoulder thing, and I can't really wash my back well. So if you could just get in there.
Yep. That's the start of a good porno. Just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Bradley.
So you heard it here first, folks. Aaron thinks that George Clooney's too ugly to be more than friends.
I did not say that. George, I think you're a very handsome man. I did not say that.
Handsome, yes, but not hot.
But
Breaking. Aaron
kinda-
does not want to have a bath with George Clooney.
Kind of like same.
Doesn't want to have a bath with George Clooney.
In
But
today's
Bradley
news,
Cooper.
Aaron would kick George Clooney out of bed in favor for Bradley Cooper.
I probably would. But that doesn't mean I don't love you, George.
Doesn't she's not attracted to you?
Oh. Anyway.
Suddenly you don't want to play.
Yeah, we're done. Good night, everybody. So I do want to play Desert Island, but I'm trying to think of a really I'm like in the mood to never mind.
You can go there. It's fine. I'm game.
We're gonna do this with characters though, because I think I've played it.
Yeah, characters is
people.
less concerning.
I know reality from not reality.
Oh yeah, no. It's Carla I'm worried about.
Even though I am still waiting for that call about a certain date coming up in March.
Oh my god. Yes, totally. Just keep your phone on vibrate.
It is. It's like right here.
Only because sometimes you don't want to have it ringing. So only keep it on vibrate for that purpose and no other purpose. That would be a non-friend purpose.
This is the call. This is it. Okay, anyway. So we'll play with characters. So I'll just throw it out like a big so what 3 female characters would you take with you to a desert island, Bex? We'll start with this.
Okay. My first one, the first one that just like immediately came to mind was Rosa Diaz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Ooh.
She'd be really useful.
Because right there you have a knife.
Yeah, she's got skills. I would not be worried about any of it. And she also loves puppies. So not that there are puppies on this island, but there might be. So
You never know.
She would be my first pick. Oh my gosh. Then I would take Penelope Alvarez because she's a nurse. So we got any medical issues, we got that taken care of. And oh my gosh. Why are all the women escaping my mind right now? This is a shame. I feel embarrassed. Like I do a whole podcast all dedicated to women and I can't think of women. From a TV show.
It doesn't have to be a TV show. It can
Oh,
be-
okay. Just
it can
characters.
be from a movie. It can't be from a song though.
From a
just kidding.
song.
I don't know.
That was so random.
I'm like, well, now I
I
don't
draw
even.
my line at songs.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
Sweet Caroline. Maybe you want to.
Maybe we want to take Jolene.
Yes.
There are no men for her to take, so
Right?
she's safe there.
I'm gonna go with Luisa Madrigal. Luisa Madrigal, because she's also really strong and can like
From where?
from Encanto.
Oh, see, I haven't watched that yet. So
She's the middle sister, even though the first time I watched it, I thought she was the oldest sister. Because she's the one who's like, she's the strong one. And so she takes on the weight of everyone's problems. And so I was like, well, that's the oldest child. Clearly, it was not.
It was so deceptive. Like
It
you have
was.
to stick to these preconceived notions of sibling hierarchies or nothing.
Yeah, yeah. There's a great Instagram account I follow. That guy that does that. I think it's like TJ Therian or something like that. And he's like, this is your oldest child getting ready for school. This is your middle child getting ready for school. And this is your youngest. And it's like the oldest one is like ready to go like 10 minutes early. The middle one is like putting clothes on backwards. And like the youngest one, you have to put the clothes on because they're not doing anything.
Yes, that was my
Oh,
experience.
That's a good question, Megan. I think I want them to stay on the island with me. That's what I'm gonna pick. I don't know if that was Erin's goal, but like I'm okay with us staying on the island together.
Yeah, this is not in the realm of like Yellow Jackets or anything where people are trying to escape and it's horror. No, this is Carla doesn't like that I'm saying that. So maybe she wants it to be like that. Okay, then
Maybe it's a help everyone escape. Like we can all get off there together.
I'm very upset because I was going to pick Storm. Because then Storm could possibly like, do something and like below the island to the mainland.
well, that's okay. You can.
I should have gone with Peppa. She could have controlled the weather. That would have been much better because I already have Rosa. She's strong. Oh, I take back my answer.
Okay,
Peppa.
so there you go. See? So, where did the ones that I already chose go? Damn it, because I was so focused on Storm, and then my perfectly good other ones just. But okay, I'm just gonna pick from scratch. I am going to say that I'm going to choose. Oh God. Okay, Zoe from
Firefly?
from Firefly.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because she's amazing.
Mhm.
And she's just, I love her. I admire her. She has great instincts. She too would probably be able to like kill us lunch, breakfast, and dinner. And do it all with like a very like casual attitude, like, oh, whatever. Here's the food that I made.
Yeah.
Um,
Good choice.
Thank you. I would also then choose Carla from Scrubs, because like we could be like, somebody could be like Carla, and we would both turn and be like, "What? Oh, we did it again!" We would be friends.
And she's a doctor, right? So
She's a nurse.
A
But she's
nurse.
head nurse on top of everything else, and she's smarter than anybody else on her floor. So I think we would be in good hands with Carla and with Zoe, and then Storm could be there also.
yeah,
Just
just
for
for
some
protection.
reasons. Yes, for some reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also just could be a good time. Just
This is PG, Carla. I don't like things going above PG ever on this podcast.
so just
kidding.
like
I'm kidding. You can do whatever you want.
innocent kisses. Just because we're friends.
Innocent baths.
Innocent baths, yes.
Who are you taking, Erin?
I am taking when everyone's choosing like nurses and everything like that. I'm like, that's a good idea. So I'm taking Carol Hathaway from ER with me. Plus, then maybe she'll occasionally Skype to Doug Ross
On island Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
What's the password? Stranded.
Yes, she can, because I shipped them. They're one of my favorite ships, so they can, I can watch them from afar. Well, not afar because she'll be right there. I can watch him from afar. And then of course I would have to take Deborah Morgan with me because she kicks ass and she's funny and she's great and she's my favorite female character, fictional female character of all time. So she has to be there. And then I wasn't sure on the third one, and then I just decided Catwoman. Any version of Catwoman can come and we can go play with her.
I love that we all have like a sexy bisexual on our island.
Yes.
It's kind of a requirement.
Kid prowling through there like, hello.
Oh, yeah. So yes, I was trying to keep it PG, but that never happens when Carla's around. It's Oh, Carla, I keep
Me?
everything.
I am but a saint.
Yes. Yes, you're the one who's talking about people taking baths together. I'm like, I'm just like, let's just be.
I'm concerned about everybody's hygiene. And you're making it something
Yeah, so
filthy.
bathing is a
Honestly.
good thing, like a bath. Sitting in your own filth is a great idea when
You
it
know
comes to
what?
hygiene.
There's only so much you can do some places. Some places don't have like the showers, but you can gather water and just
Yeah.
bathe luxuriously and help somebody bathe themselves too. Because some people have shoulder problems and they can't reach their back too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bex.
Or the fronts.
Or their fronts, yes. Or their nether regions.
Can't reach.
I'm just
I got my
saying.
T-Rex arms. I can't reach.
Okay, so now male characters, Bex.
Okay, I have two ready, but I don't know. It might take me a minute to come up with a third one. So the first one's going to be Dean Winchester. Because even though I'm a cast girl, like, Dean he's got a lot more skills in terms of keeping us safe. And then the second one would be Sam Obisanya from Ted Lasso, because he's like so nice, but not like that weirdly optimistic kind of nice, just genuine, nice, kind person. And he's dreamy, even if he's only like 25 or something. Not my fault.
He's
He's of age. Which is another whole thing when it comes to the shipping in that show. So, but I can't really talk about this because y'all haven't watched it yet. But just wait till that episode. And the third one, I'm just picking dreamy people right now. This is my problem. I don't want people who are just useful. Like, well, you said Desert Island. I'm like, someone's gonna be useful. I mean, Dean's useful. Andy's pretty.
Yeah, Dean is very useful.
Okay.
For lots of things, not just to help you start a fire.
To help you start other fires.
Probably the most useless but dreamy person I could take with me
Most useless
would be Schneider from One Day at a Time. He's super dreamy, but he's definitely useless.
There you go. There you go. See?
Yeah. So Dean would like do all the stuff that we need to survive. Sam would just be everyone's friend and keeping us together. And then Schneider would just be my eye candy. That's good.
Hey, those are not bad things.
Yeah, there we go. All right, that's what I'm going with.
Okay. So Carla.
All right. So I'm going to start out with Juan del Diablo from Corazón Salvaje, the 90s version, which is the only version that matters, because Juan del Diablo is a pirate, kind of, and he also lives on the coast. So he would be great in an island situation. Yes, he's hot, but that's not the only reason. It's only the main reason.
It's only the main reason.
It's only the main reason. Then
it's only the main reason.
It's only the main reason. Yes. Oh. Then we would have to have well, the Wolverine would be great, but he would just be like, "Oh, I'm so mad today!" / and that wouldn't be very good.
Yeah, he's kind of moody.
He's moody, and I just don't want that on my islands. I don't have time for that, honestly. I really wanted Spike, but there's going to be a lot of sun.
That's true.
Spike would not
die quickly.
Yeah. No, I don't want that for my poor dear Spike. Probably Mal Reynolds, also from Firefly, because he is also very hot, but also a great leader, very resourceful, very smart, and very hot.
I think I want to.
And
yeah. Sorry, go on. I'm just thinking.
And who among my TV crushes is a good cook? Because we're gonna have plenty of fish, and somebody's gonna have to like.
Cooking is a good.
Okay,
that's an important skill.
Who is a good cook in all of my
character?
Or maybe in books. Who in books is a good cook? I don't know. a character out there has to be a good cook, right? Somebody out there has to be decent at cooking. I'm looking at all my Funkos trying to figure this out. I'm like,
Oh,
Cass
what
is
about
useless. Steven Liquitabi are useless.
the dad from With Love? He's the first one that comes to mind.
From where?
With Love.
Yes.
He make really good food.
He's kind of judgmental, though.
Listen,
He's truly judgmental, though.
Okay.
No,
how about
forget it.
You could take. Why can't I think of any of their names now? But you could take the son. He could cook.
Yes. Oh my God. Pedro Jr.
Yeah.
Yes, Pedro Jr. could come and cook. Yes.
There we go.
All right. Good call.
I'm gonna swap out my useless Schneider for Cobb Vance, who is Timothy Oliphant's character, because he's like a sheriff and dreamy, so it's a win-win. That's the problem.
You need an island of 4 people as a sheriff to keep things in order.
But see, like also Timothy Oliphant, like Cobb Vance and Dean Winchester. I'd be okay, like just observing. I'm okay with that.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, I need a moment again.
Oh my God. Yes. Excuse me.
Well, number one is Dean Winchester. There's no way I could not take Dean Winchester with me because he's my all-time favorite character, period. And he would be very useful in lots of ways. And actually, he's a good cook.
That's true. He makes a mean burger.
He's a really good cook.
That'll be really helpful with all of that cattle that you have on an island.
He could make fish
Islands
burgers.
are famously full of cattle.
They're full of wild hogs, which he could turn into boar burgers. Carla, you gotta think beyond the cow.
Well, he used to have to get creative with the macaroni and cheese that he would make for Sam.
See? Mm-hmm.
So,
See, being inventive in the kitchen does not equate being a good cook, but please go on.
Well, in my mind, he's a good cook.
He is. Even Sam liked his burgers.
Yes, in my head canon, he is a good cook.
And they never talk about anything else he cooks, but that's neither here nor there.
Yes, all the time they do. You missed all those episodes.
You fell asleep.
Those secret episodes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Called Cooking with Dean. You missed them.
He's naked.
Yes, Cooking with Dean naked. Oh my God.
So those were the pay-per-view episodes. So no wonder I missed them.
Yes, and he's got the
apron. Yeah. Of
yes,
course.
and it says kiss the
hot dog.
Yes, I was trying to keep it PG, but it's the other. Yes,
why?
C word.
Sorry, am I supposed to be doing that?
No, it's me. I mean, we haven't had porn bots in a while, so I'm trying to bring it back to the mold. But yes, Dean for sure. Tristan from American Horror Story Hotel. Because I have to have a Finn character on there. And even though he can be a whiny little brat, and he is a vampire, but the vampire's a little different in there, so he won't explode in the sun. He would just be fun. And I think he'd be a lot of fun. The only problem is Dean might try to kill him. So
wait, is that the one from? Is that Tristan? He's the vampire.
Tristan's a vampire.
Okay,
yes.
I thought we were moving on to the third character, and you just weren't telling us the name. And I was like, wait.
No, I haven't gotten to the third character. Okay. No, because I'm trying to decide on the third. Because I know who I want to, but then at the same time, I'll tell you why I have issues about maybe I shouldn't bring this character. But I do think he would be fun to be around because he would be fun. he would be into a lot of things that would be fun to do on the island. But Dean would really have to. I'd be like, Dean, remember Benny? You were friends with Benny.
Dean remembers Benny.
It's okay. Listen,
Dean remembers Benny.
I'm like, you can be friends with Tristan.
Tristan has dark hair and blue eyes. So I think going off of Dean's type, Tristan would be okay.
Facts.
Yes. Yes. So yes, it would be fun. And then for the third character, I really want to bring Brian Kinney, but my problem with bringing Brian Kinney
is that he would be utterly useless.
Yes, and he would complain the whole fucking time. And I would just be like, "Oh, just sit there and look pretty."
And you would be certainly trying to seduce Dean. Meanwhile, Brian has already seduced Dean.
Yes, I'll just go seduce Tristan. That's okay.
No, Brian has seduced everybody on the island but you.
See, that's the other reason I would want to seduce Brian. Because he'd be like, he's in no way, shape, or form would he ever want to have sex with me, unless I was like, well, I want to have a child. Then maybe he'd be like, okay, I guess so. But he'd be complaining the whole time. I think Dean would end up killing him just because. Tristan would end up drinking his blood, and then, oh gosh, I'm imagining. So Tristan's drinking his blood. Tristan and Dean are, never mind. This is getting really dirty. So.
I think you should write that fic. That's all I'm saying.
I know I would read it.
And I'm there too.
Aaron, write it.
Yes. Tristan and
I am now desperate to find out about this. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Brian would be dead really quickly. So.
I don't know. I think like after like 14 chapters of threesomes between the three of them, and you being upset on the sides, and then Dean gets really tired of, because Brian is running the threesomes. Clearly. And then at some point, Dean is like, okay, but you're just so whiny, I can't deal with it, and you're also useless, so you gotta go.
Yeah.
And then he beheads him in chapter 15.
Yeah. And then, yes.
And he beds the vampire one, and he weds Aaron.
There you go.
I want to have fun with Tristan too. I mean, Tristan had a lot of fun with Lady Gaga after they killed a man and drank his blood. They were covered in blood while they were having sex. So please write this, Aaron.
Nobody said anything about being covered in blood. I just said he beheads Brian, and then you guys have your fun many threesomes because you're finally allowed that Brian is gone.
Oh, I like
that. And then
story.
15 chapters after that, then maybe you get rescued or something.
I appreciate that Megan found a way to bring Bad Bunny into this.
Yeah, Megan, I feel like Bad Bunny would be useful because regardless of where, women surround him and they would provide me food, clothing, and a who society.
And a whole society, probably.
A what?
A whole.
Probably a whole society.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That is entirely women except for Bad Bunny. I am invested. So I guess I'm supposed to be writing this story now.
Yes,
you're gonna have to. Weirdest crossover in the whole.
You need to write it.
Weird.
No, it's not weird. Oh, Aaron, it's not weird at all. Just make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
The
people have spoken.
Fanfic.
The people being the three of us, the only remaining friends.
The crossover no one knew they needed.
Wow. What will it be called?
Oh.
Stranded and strap-ons? I don't know.
We don't need strap-ons. I mean, maybe Aaron does. I don't know.
Yes, for after Brian gets killed.
Oh, man.
I'm just trying to help.
You've got good ideas. I mean, I'm just saying.
You're drinking water because now you're thirsty for this, aren't you, Aaron?
Mm-hmm. She's cooling off. She's cooling off.
She's like, "Oh, this is so hot. I'm gonna stop this broadcast and go write this right now."
Someone else needs to die in the later chapters. Well, who? I don't.
Major character death.
Probably Tristan.
Oh.
Why do we have to bring it down to 2? Why can't they keep a threesome at the end? Maybe there's
Well, I
like
mean,
a
that's
side character.
fine.
Maybe it's the boar that they're thinking. Make the burgers.
I don't want Tristan to die.
See, I'm pushing the marketing on this very well. Aaron.
I'm just gonna go spend the rest of the night writing this.
That's all we're asking. You got the goods.
I should do a poll right now. Who wants a Tristan?
There's
Dean,
3 of us here.
In the poll of these 3 people who are not you, we vote yes.
Oh man.
Are
Okay.
you actually putting out a poll?
I think I'm going to. So would you
Out
want
of
to
Dean
see
Winchester, Tristan, what's his face, and Brian Kinney, who should be dead?
Oh God, I don't want to answer that. Actually, wait. I'm trying to figure out what kind of poll I was going to do, but now you just made me sad. So
No.
Good one, Carla.
But you know what's funny is that she didn't get upset about Brian being killed because she knows he would be obnoxious as hell to everybody else on the island.
I know, even though I love Brian.
You love Brian, but you know what he is.
Brian, but I would want him to die so quickly. I would be like, I know you're hungry, Tristan. I know you're eager to kill Dean. So both of you go at it.
Just go for it. But it would be driven by jealousy because every night there is so much sex and you're not invited.
I'm looking at pictures of this guy and I'm just like, yeah, I would kill him off too.
You're looking at pictures of Brian Kinney?
As a character, right? Like I looked him up as the character, not the actor. And I'm like, yeah, no, he seems like the whole like suit jacket vibe unbutton thing. I don't know what you're trying to pull here.
I love that Megan's like, oh no, we went too far. No, Megan, we haven't gone far enough.
It's a lot easier to go too far when you're in the video. Like this is what I'm learning here. Like when I'm in the chat, I'm a lot nicer.
It's true, man. What happened to you?
I told you.
I am creating a post saying, trying to promote this live stream, saying we're creating a fanfic right now with the characters Dean Winchester, Tristan Duffy, and Brian Kinney on a desert island with me.
Which not Aaron?
Is this a tweet? Because I'm going to retweet it right now.
Yes, I'm ready.
Do you want me to write this fic later?
Now or
now,
yesterday?
We can just brainstorm the hell out of this.
Yes, I could.
On the fandom, it's a fandom.
Yeah, I haven't tweeted it yet, but
I'm just refreshing. I'm sitting here refreshing over and over.
I want to get ready.
I'm trying to putting tags here.
My phone case.
I'm not going to do a poll of. I'm not going to do a poll of who should die because if I'm
you don't want the answer.
No, because if I'm tagging queer as folk in here, Brian will not die. Brian will be the victor who will win. Trust me.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
I am part of that fandom, and
they're more
very active
than the supernatural fandom.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but definitely
you, Megan.
Tristan would win. Would end up being the sacrificial one.
Yes, I think so too, and that's another reason I don't want to do this poll. Okay, so I just come on. Okay, I just tweeted it.
Okay.
Okay, we've all gotten really excited. I got a JH47070197 follow me. I'm sure that is a very reputable person.
Real AF. Yep.
So
okay, there we go.
Yes, so this is going to happen, I guess. We're going to write this. And I love Brian Kinney. I want to stress this. I love Brian Kinney, but being stranded on a desert island with Brian Kinney would be a nightmare.
Like that's where I was with Schneider, and that's why I was like, no, I got to trade him out. He's so pretty, but
I think the Dean would be the most useful person of all of the people that I'd be on there with.
yeah,
For sure. For sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
I'm so excited for this eventual fanfic to hit AO3 and for me to read it.
Oh man, it's gonna be so amazing when I do end up writing this, if this actually happens.
If
I
When
know everybody wants this fanfic. Everybody here. I don't know if everybody out there wants it.
they just don't know what they want.
Yes,
That's the problem. Like,
that's true. I'd probably get a lot of hate for Brian being murdered, though.
so, just don't text me your
Tag
scope
it.
in the tags, and you'll be fine.
Just
Yeah.
add major character death, and you're fine. You got yourself covered.
Yeah, we have gained a couple of new viewers ever since I tweeted that out. I don't know if it's at all has anything to do with it.
Like in the last 10 seconds.
Yes.
Hi, new viewers. We're very excited to have you as we talk about writing a very, very clean,
Oh, yeah.
not at all involving threesomes and pegging or anything like that fanfic. No, none of that. Only some of that. Only a lot of that.
Yes. So if any new viewers want to chime in on this, we're writing. This all started because I was asking what 3 fictional male characters you would bring to an island, and I have brought Dean Winchester, Tristan Duffy. I guess I should say who these characters are from if you don't know, but Dean Winchester from Supernatural, Tristan Duffy from American Horror Story Hotel, and then Brian Kinney from Queer as Folk. Now, I have decided I love Brian Kinney, but Brian Kinney would be the most obnoxious of these 3 on that desert island. Plus, he wouldn't let me have any fun with any of the other 2. He would be
Basically,
very
the threesomes would not include Aaron as long as Brian's alive.
So Brian has to die. I'm sorry. So hopefully everybody is okay with that.
And even if you're not, quite frankly, it's fine.
Yes. And then people are talking that there should be another character dying. I don't think there should be. I think it should just be the 3 of us living in this beautiful life together.
Listen, I accept that. I think it's okay. As long as you kill the wild boar, we're good.
It's fine.
Yes.
It's absolutely
All
fine.
the boar burgers.
Yes. And we'll have lots of PG fun together.
PG. What does that stand for, Aaron?
Penis and gina.
We lost a viewer. They are mad we killed Brian. They're so mad we killed Brian. That's it. But I mean, any Brian Kinney fan has to know being trapped on a desert island with that man would be infuriating. Even if you love him, he would complain, he would hate it.
Yes.
Uh-oh, Panda. Uh-oh.
Panda.
Hi, Panda.
You must have
Aaron, you
summoned them.
can't kill Brian. Oh, Panda. I know. Please keep listening, but
Sorry, Panda, he did.
He did.
But he doesn't die for like 15 chapters or something.
He gets so much hot sex first. Don't worry. He will go a happy, happy man.
Yes, he will. I will be very upset during this, so that's part of the reason he has to die, because he won't let me have any fun with the other 2.
And that's just not okay.
No.
It's just not.
No. Not
That's
at all.
not what friendship is about. Friendship is about Aaron.
We already
Exactly.
established this at the beginning of this show.
Yes, because you cannot spell friendship without Aaron. You spell. Oh,
No, you can't spell orgy with Aaron or without Aaron. There's no Aaron in orgy. I'm very sorry.
I know you can't spell threesome. You can't spell
With Aaron,
foursome.
but you also can't spell threesome with Brian. So
That's true. That's true. You can't spell it with Dean either, or Tristan. Well, no, you could
We'll
probably.
come up with new words.
Yeah.
We'll come up with new words. It's okay. Nobody said they have to be existing words.
Yes. Okay, so this fanfic, I want to know what it should be titled. So help me come up with a title for this fanfic.
That's hard.
Supernatural. What was the second one? He's from
American Horror Story.
Which
And then
one?
Queer as Folk. Tristan's from American Horror Story, and then Brian's from Queer as Folk.
It's just regular American Horror Story.
American Horror Story Hotel.
Oh, okay.
Is the season is Hotel.
Okay.
I already gave you the perfect title. I don't know why you're still fishing.
What is the title that you gave me?
Stranded and Strap-ons.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I can't believe you forgot.
Stranded and Strap-ons. Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Mine is amazing.
That'll be in the poll. No. Stranded. I'm actually writing this down, by the way.
Sand gets in your holes.
Oh.
No.
Oh, I would not read that fic.
That sounds uncomfortable. No.
Bedwet or Behead, but with... I don't know.
Bedwed Behead, Desert Island edition. You need to do this episode, Carla. You.
Hey, yes. Thank you, Bex.
Well, considering that would be like the easiest one ever, I don't think that would really work.
Yeah.
Because we are immediately beheading Brian.
Right,
so what does that leave to us?
I'd get it right when I do my guessing.
That's true. That's true.
That was the best part of the Princess Bride episode. I'm like, this is the answer. Neither of you gave it to me at first, and I was like, no, you're just wrong. And you got there. You came around.
We came back. We came back.
Dang, I was so close to getting a really good episode there. That would have been fun to do. And then boom.
I mean, it's Brian Kinney. This is who you brought on the island.
I know.
Okay, listen, Panda. Listen, but you have to agree that Brian Kinney would not be very useful on a deserted island, right? Like, what skills does he bring to a deserted island? You can't market your way out of a deserted island.
Yeah, Panda would read this. Well, probably not. Panda would be very upset with this. Once Brian died, Panda would be like, I'm done.
Maybe there could be like a secret alternate ending for people who want off the island. Just like an exit tour, and then they all lived happily ever after on the deserted island, all four of them, even Brian. The end.
Even Brian. Even Brian. Yeah. So, do we want to play any other games? Do you want to keep writing this fanfic? What do my two panelists want to do? Are you all okay? What is up?
Okay, so I want to talk about friendships from the screen.
Oh yeah, I did have that on the outline, didn't I?
I literally looked at it 30 seconds before I logged. All right, we're just gonna wing this.
That's what I'm doing. I didn't write any down. Carla did, but I didn't.
I like write a script for the other ones. I'm like, okay, let me make sure I hit all the points. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be fun.
Just hop on and see what happens.
Okay, Carla, how long is this gonna be?
It's only gonna be like half an hour. I don't know why you're so upset. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's not gonna be like half an hour. Okay.
All right, let me get comfy here.
That's right. You settle in for a good time.
I turn off the music.
You're turning on sleepy time music for Bex. That's so friendly of you. Okay, so
No, I'm turning on the porn music now.
I mean, sweet dreams. Right?
Sorry.
Dreams either way.
Friendships in television and film. Tonight we will be discussing.
Oh my god, it's like ASMR.
Okay, so everyone in Friends, I think, is a
Oh, everyone on Friends. I thought you
everyone on
said something else.
everyone is Friends. Every single show you've ever watched is Friends. The end. I'm done. See how quick that was? No, but
Wow.
everybody on Friends, that friendship, that friend group was so beautiful and magical. I love it. Um, JD and Turk from Scrubs. That come on, Eagle. They are so cute. They're so cute, and they're two guys who are not afraid to revel in their love for each other. They don't care about how they may be seen or what they may be called. They're just loving friends, and they don't care who says what. Sean and Gus from Psych, because I mean, they're like one of the best TV duos ever. And there's another duo of male friends who is not coy about their friendship.
Mm.
David and Stevie from Schmidt's Creek. David and Stevie, like two besties who started being besties because they're both really, really like sour on people, and they're both really sarcastic. And their friendship just grows and becomes so much deeper and lovelier. Twyla and Alexis, which is like a weird friendship because Alexis starts out only caring about herself, but eventually she becomes a really good friend, like a really good person. She eventually, like at the very end, becomes a good friend. Um, Issa and Molly from Insecure, because they have their ups and downs, but they are in the end always there for each other. Abby and Alana from Broad City. They love each other so freaking much. It's just, they will do anything for each other. They grow together. They may have their arguments and stuff, but in the end, they are just really there for each other. Michael and Rogelio from Jane the Virgin are such cute bros, and they have like
Rogelio.
Rogelio, yes, they're. Oh, I love them so much together. I don't know, just Rogelio is so self-involved, but still so loving, and Michael is just a huge heart. And together, they're both so goofy. They're so goofy. Like I don't think that they are as goofy with anybody else in the show as they are with each other. Punky and Cherry from Punky Brewster.
Going old
Whoa.
school. All right. Deep dive there. I mean,
Yes,
she did save her from that refrigerator.
that episode lives in my mind because from then on, I became so afraid of refrigerators. Like, don't even look at the refrigerator because you might die.
Uh-huh. Yeah, totally.
Yes. So that's TV. And then film, Thelma and Louise. Because if you can't drive off a cliff with your bestie, is it really a bestie? Cher, Ty, and Dion and Clueless. I mean, they start out kind of just making Ty into a project. They eventually accept her as she is, and they stay friends, and it's beautiful. Like, come on, you can't not love that. Okay. The girls from Girls Trip, Ryan, Sasha, Lisa, and Dina. That's a hilarious movie, and it has some of the best bestie fighting and partying. Hang on, there are more. There are more.
Well, she's coming up with them from TV. I'm going to throw in my Ted Lasso friendship is Rebecca Welton and Keely Jones. Female friendship that is like just so realistically done, so pure and like not toxic in any way. There's none of that like men writing women because they got to be all catty and this and that and fight. Like they're just good friends. And even when a third friend comes into the mix, like that one of them knew before, they just take her in and embrace her. And like, there's not this rivalry between the old friend and the new friend. And I don't need that because that's not real to me. Like, you know, if Kim introduced me to a friend of hers, I'm not gonna be like, oh, who are you? I'm gonna be like, welcome, let's all be friends. And that's Ben Keeley.
Hi, Jen.
Hey, Jen. Yes, Pen 15. Oh my gosh. Maya and Anna. Oh, okay, if you haven't watched the show, go on and watch it. It's on Hulu. It's fantastic. And the two of them together have such fantastic chemistry. And they're also really there for each other. And they start off when they're, I think, 12 or 13. So they have like those awkward spats that best friends do, but on a like hormone fueled extra level, because you're not quite sure of who you're becoming or who your friend is becoming, but they navigate it together, and it's beautiful. Oh, I love it. Yes, Romeo and Michelle from Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. I love that movie, and I love those two together. Annie and Lillian from Bridesmaids, because they go through this whole journey before they come back together, where Lillian is, finding new friends and trying to fit into this life while still keeping Annie in, but Annie's a mess. And
oh, that movie makes me cry, like sob.
Me too.
that ending, yes. Thank you. Yes.
The part, like, I literally lost it at the section where she was like tipping over the chocolate fountain, or attempting to tip over the chocolate fountain, and I was just like,
yes,
I feel your pain.
Yes, because it's true. It's like you're losing your best friend to this absolutely horrible person who is so pretentious, and also your best friend is growing and changing, and you're kind of stagnating, and it's so frustrating. And there's also this giant chocolate fountain. Why is there a massive chocolate fountain? Doesn't even make sense. Just tip it over. Of course, she doesn't have to deal with the cleanup, Annie. Talk about short-sighted. Molly and Amy in Booksmart. I love Booksmart. I think it's a movie that not enough people. Yeah, it's a movie that not enough people give credit for how beautiful it is, and how those friendships are so grounded in reality, and just go watch it.
How about Twyla, Samantha, Roberta, and what's the fourth one's name? It's like Katie or something. No, it's not Katie. From Now and Then.
I don't think I watched Now and Then.
Carla, you would love it. Oh my gosh.
You mean the movie Now and Then?
Yes.
I don't remember it.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't really like it that much, I think.
Ooh, there's gonna be a fight.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie so much. That's okay. We can still be friends.
She says that now, but until we log off.
Remember, you can't spell friendship without my name, so.
It was almost my name, okay?
Close enough.
So my mom went and read some romance novel and was like, ooh, Becca. And I'm like, nobody's ever called me Becca my whole life.
The Three Amigos.
The Three Amigos.
We love Schitt's Creek on this podcast, Panda. I don't know if you've listened to our 2 Schitt's Creek episodes, but go listen to them.
Go listen to them.
Sorry, go ahead.
Was I on both?
Yes.
Or just the one? Okay.
You were on both. Yes, because the first one was the one where I had to do the fancy editing, and I had to edit in your audio, like clip it in.
Yeah.
Well, Jen
my audio was so awful. Somebody recommended Steel Magnolias, but I'm like, why? That movie's so depressing. So yeah, like, and I think anybody who befriends Nebula on the Guardians of the Galaxy, the whole Marvel thing, deserves a shout out, because Nebula is underrated. And honestly, that final movie, the beginning portion of it was all about Nebula and her coming to her own and being amazing. And Karen Gillan is fantastic and deserves all kinds of awesome things. I love her. I adore her.
What about Carl and Russell from Up?
How dare you? We're not talking about Up.
I love them. We're talking about friendship.
We're talking about the most depressing beginning of a movie ever.
It's so beautiful. So beautiful. But I cry. Yes, every time. Every time. Or like,
and obviously Dean and Cass, even though they're more than friends.
Bex, do you have any friendships you want to call out?
I was like looking at my DVD collection to be like, where Sam and Frodo. I am a sucker for a good sidekick story. I love Samwise Gamgee. From Baby Mama.
Oh yeah, I love Baby Mama.
I am so bad at character names, but like I love the way they develop their friendship because they're just not friends and they're just
Mm-mm.
dealing with whatever that. And you know, like my favorite line from that movie is like when she's dealing with the gum on her table, she's like, "Bitch, I don't know your life." I love that. The friendships from Now and Then. I'm sorry you didn't like it, Aaron, but like the friendships in that are so pure. My DVDs are so far away. Also, like we don't own a lot of DVDs anymore. um, yeah,
I'm just looking
I
at my
don't know.
Funkos now.
I like the friendship between Lars and Hilda in this show called Beforeigners, which is a Norwegian time travel cop show. It's so good. Like I'm going to throw that out there as a recommendation to people, but it's like one of those shows where it's definitely a metaphor for like racism in immigration in society, but it's done with all Norwegian characters that like time travel from the past to the present day. And so there's like the way that the Vikings are treated versus the way the Victorians were treated versus the modern day and like everyone in between. And sort of the cultural clashes that come from all of that. But these two are detectives, and she, Hilda, is the first time migrant to become a police officer. And so they become partners first, and it's kind of, you know, they don't, not that they necessarily clash, but they don't see eye to eye, and then they develop this friendship over the couple of seasons. So that's really good, and one that I don't think anybody would think of. Mando and Baby Yoda. I don't know. This is hard. It really is.
Spike.
There's so many good friendships. Spike is nobody's friend.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Listen, I love Spike. I was so team Spike until that one scene. Good, Carla, goodbye. I'm not team Angel at all. I would be team Spike first, but there is that one scene that just made me team nobody. And like it.
And I get that, but he didn't have a soul. And he also went out and got one because he was so upset with himself for having done that, even when he didn't have a soul.
That was like the hardest thing for me to get past that scene, though. Like, if I had to choose between the two, it would have been him, but only if I could get rid of that scene.
That scene was incredibly necessary because everybody loved Spike at that point and had forgotten that Spike was a vampire and didn't have a soul and had forgotten who he was at that point. And so that's why I think that scene was actually, I hate that scene too, but I think it's essential, honestly, to remind.
I think there are other ways to show that he was evil without resorting to that specific kind of violence.
Yes, and I'm going to blame that on the creator.
I'm blaming that on Joss
But they actually never really did a lot with that in that show, though. That was like if they constantly had done that, I could see that. For me, I don't.
That's what it was. Is that because they hadn't really gone there? When they went there, it just hit so much harder for me, and I was like, "Whoa!"
And I guess that was the
really took me out of it. Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, Aaron, but it just like it turned me into team. No, but definitely not team that other guy from the last season. There, like,
oh,
what the hell was his point? He had no point for being.
I thought
it was the last guy. Maybe, yeah. I don't know. I watched it all at once.
Riley,
yeah, no, most useless.
Riley's the most boring.
So Buffy and Willow.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, I love the movie Up.
Oh, the Doctor and Donna.
Yeah,
sorry.
I don't watch Doctor Who, and then Az and Crowley.
Well, they're not friends. They're friends like Dean and Cass are friends.
They're friendly.
I don't watch that. I haven't watched that show yet. So,
so good.
No.
With And there's a new season coming out, so we have to like do an episode.
Mm.
Just 2027.
My glasses. I'm trying to look at my Funkos, but they're way far away.
Ben and Noel from Felicity.
Yes,
that
you
a
can
ship?
definitely call them friends.
Yes. Benol.
Definitely. Benol.
Michael and Brian from Queer as Folk, not at all toxic friendship.
Not in the least.
I'm
Such a
mentioning the
healthy
really bad.
friendship. I know. Wow, you're going way the other way.
Dean and Sam.
Oh, I see. So we're only looking at codependent friendships. Got it.
Dean and Benny.
Oh, that was a good friendship.
Dean and Victor, what could have been a great friendship, and then the stupid show.
Dean and Victor in all the fix for sure.
They could have been the best of friends in the show.
That would have been an amazing friendship. I think it would have really, it would have been so good for the show. But can't have black people on it for too long.
Yeah, Pacey and Dawson.
I'm gonna log out because it's clearly has gone off the friendship rails.
Oh, bye, Jen. Happy Galentine Day and
Galentine's.
Janet Jackson Appreciation Day,
Yes.
which we did a great live stream for that. That'll be the podcast episode on Wednesday. And thank you again, Jen, for having me on. I listened to the episode, and that episode is so much fun. So thank you again for having me on to gush about Finwit Rock for 2 hours. That was amazing. You're a true friend. You're a true friend.
Wow.
Those of us who showed up here, though, we're just
I know, we're trash.
fake friends.
We're random trash.
No, you're my friends too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'm very distant. No, I'm just kidding.
I mean, sure, we live on the East Coast, but like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're very
distant. Uh-huh.
Michael Myers and Lori Strode.
Oh, I can't.
That's a solid friendship.
Freddie Krueger and Nancy. Jason and all the teenage girls.
Any camper, any lakeside camper.
Godzilla and Mothra. They were besties.
The girl from The Ring and everybody that watched the videotape. These are my kind of friendships.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know it's true.
Girl, you know it's true.
That's exactly.
Ooh,
See?
ooh, ooh.
Damien from The
Ariel.
Omen and God.
Ariel and Ursula.
I edited the episode today for that. We did Ursula as one of our big reputations. So that's coming out not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday.
I'm very excited. I love her.
I adore her, and like I didn't realize it as a kid. And I always like doing this episode on Ursula made me like work through why I loved The Little Mermaid like the most as a kid, like why that one resonated with me. And it was like the standing up to the father figure and like rebelling in that sense. And just I was like, wow, I can like weirdly relate to this. And I didn't even know it at the time, but like clearly I just wanted to be Ariel. But no, now I look back and I'm like, no, Ursula was where it was at. She was.
Well, it's like watching TV shows as a kid versus watching them now. Like when you watch Buffy, when you're younger, and you're like, "Oh, Buffy's mom and Giles were so mean," and then you're older and she's like, "Well, they had a point."
Yeah, I didn't watch that until I was in my 30s, so I only looked at it with the later lens. But yeah, there are some shows that I'd be curious to go back to and be like, so what? You know, I've done it with movies before, and you're like, yeah, this is a great movie, and I'm like, but was it?
Yeah, well, I'm currently, rewatching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air because we're going to be recording an episode.
The new one comes out tonight, right?
Yeah, and oh my gosh. the sexism and homophobia in that show.
Mm.
It's a
Ooh,
lot. It's
oh my
very,
gosh.
it's very with the times,
It
but
is,
it doesn't make it right.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Meg always says, it wasn't acceptable, but it was accepted.
exactly. Yeah,
That's a
it's like,
great way of putting it.
yeah, some of the lines in there, and I'm just like, oh. And some of the stuff that Will does, like with women, is so gross. Oh, oh man, it's so gross. So gross.
Mm-mm.
So it's like, so it's been interesting watching that because there are still things that are funny in it, and it's enjoyable to watch. But then there's that stuff you're just like, uh but a lot of shows are like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I love Friends, but Friends is cringy
Yes.
as hell.
It's rampant with transphobia and homophobia. It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
That was very 90s.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
really yeah, I love what you said. Like it wasn't acceptable, but it was accepted. Yeah, that's definitely oof. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, they have a whole scene in Fresh Prince uh where Carlton and Will and Hillary and, well, son is her name, the youngest daughter. Why is her name? What?
Ashley?
Yes, Ashley. Thank you. I'm like, so they're having this competition to see if men or women are better or whatever, can do things. So Carlton and Will are sewing a dress, and then Ashley and Hillary I think they have to put together like an exercise bike or something. I don't know, something, very cliche. And so Carlton is, of course, wearing the dress. And so it becomes this whole, like, it's really gross. It's really gross. It's like, and I'm like, I'm sure when I watched this when it was first out, I'm sure I laughed at this. I'm not going to say
Right.
I didn't when I was
Mhm.
young. I'm sure I laughed at this. But you watch it now and it's just like,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And, there's lots of other things behind the scenes with that show too that are kind of icky.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm glad we're talking about it. And I'm curious about the new one. I'm really curious about the new one.
The new one looks good.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so good.
Yeah, I heard an interview today, I don't know, on a podcast I was listening to. It's a Ted Lasso podcast, and they were interviewing this guy who had like a bit role in the first season. And he's playing Jeffrey in the new Bel Air. And so it was like a kind of an interview about the new show and also talk about Ted Lasso, the tie-in and everything. And so what he was saying about the ways in which they changed it, I was like, okay, all right. Like I don't think I would necessarily have thought of watching it before, but I might consider it. Although it's Peacock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have Peacock right now, so I don't know. We have too many streaming services.
I
Just
still,
they all come out and then just get it for a month and then just
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm doing with road food.
that's the American way.
that's the American way.
It's honestly
No.
the only way.
I feel guilty about doing it with road food because it's like PBS, and of all the places I should be supporting regularly with my money, it would be PBS, but
I forgot what road food was until you said that, and I had to remind myself.
I know, Erin.
Sorry.
I know.
Sorry.
It's your favorite.
Sorry.
But I'm bringing it up anyway.
So what do you think about Walker? I'm just kidding. Oh, man. I'm like,
I can say like the magic dirty word of the fandom right now, which is prequel.
oh yeah, yeah. So what do you think of the prequel? No, I'm curious. What do you think of the prequel?
The Winchester prequel? I don't know. I think I might check it out. I don't have high hopes, but I'm also curious enough that I'll probably give it a shot. I this is going to be quite controversial. I don't hate John Winchester.
I hate what he became in the lore of the show.
Right. And I think pieces of what he became in the lore got expanded even further in fic in a way that got sort of like it kind of blended with his on-screen character. I'm not saying he was a good father and that he didn't have his problems. I absolutely, but as a character, I think he's like a really good needed character. And so I am curious about some of the way they might develop the backstory. So I don't know.
I will say I don't think John Winchester would be homophobic. I want to say I do. I've always thought that. Like I always thought that was weird that that got put into fic, because I don't think he would react that way. I just don't. But I have a totally different view on that than I know most people do. But I just don't think he would. But I don't know.
Yeah, and if anything, he would have been like many people in the early 2000s and kind of been like, no, like let's just not talk about it, and I won't like a don't ask, don't tell sort of thing. Like I know, but I don't know, kind of bit, and he would have come around to it more if he'd been alive. So,
but I don't think he would have like beat Dean up for it or would have
right.
been that kind of thing.
Right,
I don't think he would.
I didn't. I got the neglect bit and how like when we talk about his A+ parenting, the neglect thing is huge. But I guess I missed a lot of where people read in the physical abuse. And I'm not saying it's not there. I'm just saying I don't see it as strongly. And I don't know. I just, as a character, I don't hate him.
I think people tie it in because of the alcoholism. I think people automatically equate alcoholic parenting with physical abuse.
Yeah.
So like I think that's where that might come from, but I didn't see it like canonically really. And yeah, there was definitely the neglect and the abandonment, but and the alcoholism. But I just, and as far as the homophobia, there is no evidence for or against.
Right.
So like there's no way to really.
I get when people write him that way because they're working, like a lot of times people write fics to work through some of the things that they've been confronted with. And that may be a way for them to find a character where they're like, oh, because of the people I know who are homophobic, I can write John Winchester this way and sort of weave it in. So yeah,
well, I understand that. Yeah. So are you going to watch the prequel? I almost said sequel. Carla, are you going to watch the
sequel that is a prequel? I'll probably give it a chance. Like, I don't know. People are talking about Dean and how he will be represented in it, but I don't think it's supposed to be about Dean, other than his narration. It's supposed to be about his parents. So I don't know why people are jumping on this whole thing about him. But it would be interesting. Like if they do it the right way, it could be interesting. To see this character study of two 19-year-olds, one of whom just came back from Vietnam, and the other who has been living in this vicious world her whole life, basically, and how they navigate that world together.
Yeah.
So they could really screw it up, or they could make it really work.
And I think the thing that I'm most worried about it is that and I mean, not that we didn't know this was going to happen, but it's the network that it's on.
Yeah,
well, because it's so restricting in terms of what they'll let be presented. Yeah, and they're like, oh, but there'll be a bisexual character, and it's like, well, great, but you know what? We had one of those already. If you just let it happen, yeah. And not like Cass or not, like. There's a lot more evidence in there that shows his bisexuality in my perspective anyway. So
no, I fully agree. But then also like the world of Supernatural is so inherently racist that I'm not exactly eager to find out how to continue that tradition in the prequel sequel.
Yeah, but don't you know their two friends that they're having in the show are like BIPOC or something? Like it's cool. There's one that's Latino and the other one, I forget, is the other one black? I don't remember.
Oh, I don't know.
Like they have two friends and one of them is like a bisexual guy named Carlos.
Yeah, okay, well let's see how many episodes he lasts before I decide whether or not I like it.
Yeah, he's gonna live.
Carlos is dead. We have to avenge him.
If Carlos is dead, I'm out. That's all I'm saying.
Well, because I know because I heard about that. I heard about Carlos because everybody was like, oh, the reason this is because I saw a lot of people saying the reason they did this is because Jensen has hurt us and he wants to put in a bisexual character. And
Yes.
hey, I like Jensen Ackles, but Jensen Ackles is not that person that you want him to be. I'm sorry, he's not that evolved. And I like Jensen Ackles. I think he's problematic as hell. And I don't think he's as evolved as everybody wants him to be. I don't think any of those three are as evolved as everybody wants them to be quite frank. I mean,
No.
We're
they're
all
This is on
human.
the
We're
purpose.
they
all
all
flawed
try to
humans.
pretend that they're
We're all flawed humans, but like they have, well, they have a lot of shielding because they have a lot of privilege, and they have a lot of people. They have like fandoms and legions of people telling them, "No, you're perfect as you are. You don't need to apologize," and all of this and all of that. So they
No,
never.
that's one of those things. Is like I definitely, even when I'm like a super fan of someone, I like will call them out and say things about like, holding themselves accountable. Like I I'm a I'm a big Misha fan, but when he had like a whole thing about ice and like how it just needed to be reformed, and I was like,
Right.
no, Misha, you are incorrect. Like you need to recognize this, and this, and like,
Right.
but there are people who are like, oh, he's perfect, he can do no wrong, and it's like,
Exactly.
no,
But the
he
thing is, who's
can.
he going to listen to though? And who has he historically listened to? He hasn't exactly um, been like, oh, right, these three people who have called me, and I'm exaggerating the numbers here,
Yeah,
but like
yeah.
these three people who have called me out on these things, I have taken into consideration their views and I have done the research and I have realized that I am wrong. It's like, oh, okay, cool. So then what I said wasn't that bad. So I'll only kind of walk it back and then do the complete opposite in my actions.
Mm.
So that's why, like, I don't really trust them very much as advocates for anything other than what they can tangibly benefit from. Because it benefits Misha 0% to have ICE abolished. It benefits them 0% to have um, immigration reform that substantially and tangibly
Mm-hmm. Oh
changes things.
yeah. His whole like let's make everybody purple instead of like the red and the
Right.
blue, and I'm like,
No, but this, it's a consistent thing with him that you can, that he takes that road, and like that's his response to everything. His response to everything is like, what can we do to make everybody happy?
right,
And
like
how
can't
can
we
we
all
do
get along kind of line.
right? It's like, how can we do this and not rock the boat for me? So to me, a lot of what he says and does rings hollow and weird. His work in Haiti is just typical
yeah.
white person doing white person things in Haiti. And it's not to say that it hasn't benefited some people, but at the
Mhm.
same time, it's like he's going out there and doing it his way instead of just asking the local people to really be the ones who go in there. He brings in all of these groups, not recently because of COVID, brings in all of these groups of white, typically women, to do basically photo ops of work out there and take pictures with the little black kids in Haiti for them to do their poor person I'm helping porn. That just really icks me out. I mean, and I'm talking about him specifically because he is the most visible, because he makes himself the most visible, and he touts himself as kind of a well, he doesn't do it on purpose, but he lets himself be deified, and his responses to things are not um, responses that are responsible. They're just appeasements, and he learns nothing from them. So, and I mean, we don't even need to talk about Jared because he's just utter trash.
Yeah,
But
Jared's the worst of the three of them.
yeah,
for sure,
but Jensen, he doesn't really speak up about anything, and it benefits him to not speak about anything, because if you don't take a stand on something, then you don't also have to take a stand against anything.
Right. And that's like when we're talking about the progression of the three, is like whether we agree with his stand or not, like Misha takes one, even
Yeah.
if it's a stance that's about, things that serve him as well. But yeah, he is the most vocal about like what his stand is, I think.
He's vocal, but
Oh, but
again,
actionable,
okay, but
actionable. You need actionable follow up, right? And that's
right,
the part that sometimes we get, sometimes not so much, and under what pretense as well.
yes, because the whole thing with like, you know, wrapping up his children in the foil to be like, oh, you know, if they were white, beautiful kids like mine, would you not do something about it? You know, what the kids at the border who are locked in cages and all they have to cover themselves is like that tin foil.
Mm-hmm.
And so he did that, and he posted pictures of his kids wrapped in that foil to be like,
I missed that.
you did? Oh
Yeah,
my
I can't
god, it
believe
was
I
a
missed that
huge thing.
because
Oh, it's I like that's when I was done with him. That's when I like
yeah. I feel like
unfollowed, muted. I was so utterly disgusted by him making that comparison that
I definitely missed that. I don't know
that
how
doesn't
either.
surprise me though.
between
Honestly, it
that
doesn't
and
surprise
him
me at
walking
all.
back the abolish ICE thing. Oh, I have to say goodnight to somebody very special. Excuse me.
Aw. Okay.
No, I mean, I think she's a lot of what she's saying is very true with so many celebrities as well, and like these three are just one set of examples, and the fact that they kind of each represent a different aspect of that performativity, or lack thereof in the case of Jared, you know.
Yeah, I think, well, my biggest issue with Misha, and I just haven't liked Misha for a long time. But a lot of exactly what Carla said. I think Misha is a very typical white male liberal where he's very all talk. I stopped liking him the first time I did Gish, to be honest, because a lot of the stuff that he has on Gish makes me very uncomfortable. When he had the thing on the only year I've ever done it, where he wanted you to go and hand out roses to homeless people and take pictures with them, it was so utterly tone deaf and kind of callous and kind of like, I don't know, like that to me, because I was going to do that when I'm like, never mind, I can't do this. This is really kind of cold, and I'm not going to
Mm.
do this to
Yeah, that
put
must have been
homeless
before I
people
did
on
it.
display. But he does all of it every single year. I see stuff with the Gish that I'm just like, okay, I don't, and his point system of rewarding more points when sometimes these things honestly seem more sexual, and then when they're not and they're more the stuff that's supposed to be about giving back, those don't seem to always get as much points. And I don't know, it to me, a lot of what he does to me rings hollow and very much like a white male liberal, typical white liberal stuff.
Mhm.
And and it's hard with him because his fans, a lot of them, I'm not saying you are, Bex, but a lot of his fans are like ride or die with him, where he can do no wrong. And to me, that is very dangerous
That's
because
dangerous no matter who it is.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah.
I know I'm just talking about him right now, though.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
yeah.
dangerous because his fans are just like Jared's fans. They're just the same as Jared's fans, where Jared can get his fans to attack. Misha's fans are the same way. And I think Misha honestly queer baits more than anybody else. He queer baits the Destiel fans like crazy,
I
and
think
it
I
drives me flipping nuts.
what I will say with that is that I think that at least he does it from a sincere place where he genuinely believes that the ship should be canon, and
He
Jensen just does it from a place of he knows he gets more views if he queer baits. So like that's like the only distinction I make. But it doesn't make it any better. I just think that if he had his druthers, the ship would have gone canon already because he has no issues with it. I think Jensen tolerates, but doesn't support really. And I think that that's one thing that like Jensen's fans will just jump down your throat and say, "Oh, but people," no, he will. He's fine with you shipping it. He doesn't believe in it, and he doesn't believe in taking it canon. Um, and I don't think that he ever has or ever will.
No,
I just
I completely
I
agree with that.
DM'd you the picture that I was talking about, by the way.
Yeah, I thought I saw that. But yeah, I know I agree completely with that. I mean, the reason I just was pointing out the Misha thing is that, it's kind of like the thing where I don't know, it goes into that thing of people thinking Misha is the perfect one.
Right. Well, it's the just in general the whole deification of celebrities and of not seeing them for the complex humans that they are, that they can do wrong and they can do harm, and to say otherwise, and especially to come down on people who disagree with them. Even it's not even just like rake them over the coals. It's just like if you disagree with them, suddenly you're a terrible person and you're anti Misha and you're anti Destiel and you're homophobic and a million things that have nothing to do with any of that, and just with this perception that if you if you disagree with anything that he says, and this goes for like so many other actors and fandoms and all that. I mean, just look at the Star Wars fandom, look at the Star Trek fandom, and so many things that if you are not in lockstep with the quote unquote main opinion, then you are wrong and you must be taken down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that with ship issues with Ted Lasso, and I was like, the show's motto is like, be curious, not judgmental, and believe. And I'm like, so if I don't agree with your ship, like, you're gonna start like chewing me out for it? Like, I don't, I'm not against it if it happened, but I just don't see it that way at this point in the storyline. And it's okay. And then, there is a pairing in that show, at least for a little while, with an older female character and a younger male character. And it's sort of in contrast to um, the ex-husband who's this old guy who like turns in his wife for like a younger version. Like he's married to a woman named Rebecca and his new wife is named Bex. So I have a big show that has two characters with my name. But like this idea of that relationship being kind of icky to everyone, but then this other relationship to me is different because the power dynamic is different. There is still a power dynamic issue, right? Like she's in a position of power that he is not in. But like he's not underage. So the fact that there's like a 20 plus year age difference between the two characters is like, okay, it might not be for you, but it doesn't make it wrong. And when they like come at me because I'm like okay with this relationship happening, and I'm like, be curious, not judgmental. Like it's okay. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with me. We don't have to be on the same page, but like these are fictional characters. They're not real people. So let it slide. Like I'm okay with your ship. Like I don't see it, but I'm okay with it.
Right. Because like I feel like if it's not inherently a harmful ship, if it doesn't promote something just dangerous or unhealthy,
and I think
what's your problem?
I think people think that because of her role as the owner of the team and his role as a young player, that there is that problem, that potential damage. But like it's I don't know, I think that's different than like if it's your direct boss or whatever. Like she owns the team. She's not
Well, wouldn't there still be a problem there though, even if he was like 1 year younger than her? Then if it's that kind of dynamic, there would still be that, you would still have the same kind of relationship. It's not it'd be the same kind of thing. The only difference is the age thing. And I would be curious if those same people would feel the same way if it was a man and then
that's exactly what I was going to say.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, so the female character's ex-husband, who's played by Anthony Head, his name is Rupert, just like in Buffy.
That's funny.
But he is in this relationship with a woman who's probably like 40 years younger than him. And people don't like, they don't like it. They don't like it because he's a bad guy, not they don't like it because could be his grandchild, like that's what I'm seeing anyway, right? That's what I'm seeing on social media. That's not like, and maybe it's just a vocal minority, but like, again, you don't like it, that's fine, but don't tell me I can't like it. Like, the people who get really into this one particular ship that I don't see, I just don't follow those people. I just, I'm nothing against them. I just don't want to see that content. And so I just ignore it.
Yeah, Felicity and Noel. Sorry. Sorry.
We had settled that debate.
I know. I'm sorry. It's Banol, man.
It's all up and all.
It's the end of the day.
But yeah. Well,
anyway,
wow,
this got serious.
Serious conversation there with my question about this natural thing. I was expecting like 2 words.
This is what we get for bringing up that show.
Yes.
It's my fault.
No, I thought that was a good no, it was a good conversation. I'm not saying it wasn't a good conversation. I just thought it was interesting because we were so silly, and then
suddenly
happens. And then I have to be silly with bringing up Felicity and Noel.
But you know what? Sometimes we need to bring it back around. Like, talking about another great friendship would be like Lightning McQueen and and the tow truck guy there, whatever his name is. Mater. There you go. There's a silly friendship for you.
I know that's from that Cars thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Cars.
It's just called Cars.
Okay.
How about Aang and Sokka?
Aang and Sokka from
Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that, but I knew the name sounded familiar, so that would be why. Yeah. Gohan and Piccolo. Just kidding.
Belle and Gaston.
Yeah, they're definitely besties.
They have a book club. You didn't know?
Mm-hmm.
Gaston and the Mirror.
Yes, now that is an epic friendship.
How many characters in the Mirror? Mother Gothel in the Mirror.
the witch in Snow White.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm seeing it now. Seeing
it's just any character in a mirror, basically.
Yes, that's a friendship right there.
Regina and the Mirror in Once Upon a Time.
Oh, I thought you were going with Mean Girls.
That works too. Neither one works.
That was my favorite fictional character episode that we've done so far. Although the Ursula one is really good, but it was just like, it's funny. The fictional character episodes are our lowest listened to episodes because we cover all these real women that people are really curious about. But I guess it's the literature part of me. I just get so excited when we do the fictional characters. Our next one, we're going to do Abuela Madrigal, and I am so excited to cover her. I'm like, let's have an entire episode on generational trauma and the effects of it on your family. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's my problem. I'm a junkie for the lit analysis.
I love it.
Got to do an Encanto episode. I'm just saying. Put it on the list, Taryn. 2027.
Well, you were talking to me.
Yes.
Maybe you were talking about doing a bed with a
boobs.
No, you can't behead any of the characters from Encanto. I'm sorry.
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
We behead whomever we want. Damn it.
Okay.
Encanto.
Julieta, Peppa, and Bruno.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, I had to have actually watched it and not just clips of it.
You haven't seen it yet, Carla?
It's an animated movie.
But you have kids, don't you?
I have a kid, and he does not do movies.
Oh. It's
No, his whole
really
thing is YouTube videos about makers and magic and science experiments.
There's magic in this movie. Please, I don't want it's. It's like Kim and not watching Ted Lasso. It's like Carla, go watch Encanto.
You're gonna jump through my screen and beat me, aren't you?
Just wring your neck a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Wow.
Oh, I need. Where am I in
Panda hasn't
Encanto?
watched it either.
What?
Panda, go watch it. I mean, but not until we're done with this. I always do this to Erin. I'm like, go do these things. And she's like, will you not tell them to go away during my show?
Leave now.
Write it down and do it after.
Kim does that all the time. She's like, oh, so we're going to talk about The Little Mermaid today. And if you haven't seen it, stop this episode, go watch it. Okay, you're back.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah, but not for a live stream. That doesn't really work for a
There is
live
no live stream.
I've watched it 6 times, and I'll probably watch it tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that are, but I do not like animation. There's only a few things that are animated that I actually like. I didn't like animation as a kid either. I was not into animated. I mean, I like.
Does it like freak you out, or is
No,
it like do you
No,
mind?
it does not freak me out at all.
Well,
No,
like
I
not in
do.
a horror, because like you're a horror
What?
fan, but it's like a different kind of freak out. I think like sort of that like I don't know what the word is I'm looking for here, but where it's just like so not realistic. It kind of it's like uncanny almost.
No, I just find it usually really annoying. And I'd rather have characters that I don't know that aren't animated that I can get into.
She wants characters that she can lust over, like in a realistic kind of sense. It's like you can't really imagine tying up an animated character to a bed. It's not.
Plenty of people do. That's a whole thing. That's like a whole genre.
Well, no, but Aaron can't.
Okay.
And that's what I need in my shows. I have to at least imagine one of the characters tied to my bed. If I can't imagine at least one of them tied to the bed, then what is the whole point?
Yes, Panda, you have Disney. You definitely should come back and check in with us on the next episode. Everyone always thinks I'm trying to get them to leave. I'm not. I
But I do like a couple of animated things. Like I love Watership Down, which is part of the reason I'm afraid of bunnies, because there are evil bunnies in that, by the way.
Animated evil bunnies.
Have you ever seen Watership Down?
I have not.
It's really good. It is not for kids, though. I watched it really young, and it's not a kids movie. It's very much about, it's about conservation, environment, and stuff like that as well. So yeah.
Panda's still here. It's
Panda's
right.
still here. Thank you, Panda.
There's one that I saw. The English translation is called Wrinkles. Oh my gosh. If anything makes me sob so much. The problem is I only have it in like a region 2 or something, like whatever the Spanish region DVD is, so I can't like play it regularly. But it's an animated movie about this guy who gets Alzheimer's and like is put into like assisted living with other people, and like this idea of trying to escape from it, and he and his buddies. It's just like tears come pouring out when I watch that movie because my grandmother had Alzheimer's, and so it's just really like. But that's, I think, one of those things of like an animation that's adult. Like the storyline is adult enough that it's interesting in its own way. Definitely not for kids, like you're saying with Watership Down. Definitely not for kids.
Yeah, I was a kid when I watched Watership Down, but it wasn't something I should have. Yeah, and I'm not sure, Panda, do you mean Wrinkles or do you mean Watership Down that you saw a long time ago?
I'm guessing Watership Down because I don't think most people have seen Wrinkles. It's a Spanish movie from like 2005 or something.
Okay.
2010, I don't know.
And I mean, I liked Rocky and Bullwinkle when I was younger. I used to like Rocky and Bullwinkle. and I love Beauty and the Beast. I know it's problematic, but I love Beauty and the Beast. And that was what I remember. I was babysitting somebody when I watched it when I was a teenager, and this kid would put in like animated movies and watch 5 seconds of it and then be like, let's change it up to another one, and it would drive me nuts. And then she put that one in and I was really into it. I'm like, no, we're gonna watch this one.
See, that's the thing. Like, I mean, if the style of animation doesn't pull you in, it just doesn't pull you in. But I don't like the idea of sort of, and I'm not saying you're doing this, but like when people say, oh, you know, like animation is A, and that's like all it can be to them. It's like there are so many genres of animation, and like, you know, everything from your Rocky and Bullwinkle to like a BoJack Horseman to a like Naruto, to, you know, like there's all these different types of animation, and so for me, as long as the story is good, I'll watch it again.
Well, for me, it's kind of like with laugh tracks, like with show with laugh tracks. Even if a show is really good, and I would be super interested in the story and the characters, just having the laugh track really pulls me out of it. And I feel that way a lot with animation. Like, with few exceptions, I just can't get into it because I'm just not. It doesn't exactly pull me out. It just doesn't draw me in either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there are other things I could watch instead. So I'm going to do that.
I mean, and you know, then you watch an animated film like Up, and then you're just traumatized. So
I watched Up in the theaters because my husband really wanted to, and I was like, "You're never getting to pick the movie again."
So I took my little brothers to see that movie, and my youngest brother was, I think, 5 at the time, and it was his first time at the movie theater. But I didn't know it was a Disney Pixar movie. It seemed innocent enough. And like the beginning part didn't affect him because it didn't really register with him. But the scene when the house is on fire and the dogs are barking and chasing it and everything, he lost it. He was bawling. I had to take him out of the theater, calm him down. Like I was like, it's okay, buddy. It's just make believe. But he also, like a couple years later, freaked out when like the Minions turned bad in like the Minion movie. So he's a sensitive soul. he won't be watching this, so it's fine. He won't be watching this.
He won't set up his trauma.
He's 16 now, so like hopefully he's gotten over most of that.
Oh my god. You should just play this section for all of his friends.
Oh man.
I just want to protect him.
Yes, Panda loves Beauty and the Beast too.
Yeah,
that was a
I
solid
love
movie.
Beauty and the Beast. I love that story. It's like I love Phantom of the Opera, and I root for the Phantom. And I know it's not healthy. Okay, I understand this,
but it's fiction, so it's okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I cry every time I have seen that in the theater. I have cried at every performance I've ever seen because
Never
of
seen
the
it.
Phantom.
Honestly, thanks.
I haven't. There's a lot of things. So I blame a lot of my not seeing some certain classical stuff on the fact that like I spent all my college years reading like Spanish and Latin American literature, and I didn't read any of the like European canonical stuff. And as a result, like the films that I saw were more related to that other side of things. And so it would have been one of those things where in class, if they're like, oh, we're gonna read Les Mis, I'd be like, I want to go watch the movie. No, I love reading books, but like I don't think I could get through that book. I just don't. I had it for a while and I ended up giving it away. I was like, this is not gonna happen. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Just sat there as a coaster.
Mm-hmm. I don't need, but I love having sisters in stories. So if you can give me a story with sisters in it, then I'll give it a shot for sure. Sucker for it.
I'm like all of a sudden trying to think of sister stories.
You should definitely read The Immortalists if you haven't already.
I don't think I have.
It's so good.
I read one recently. that I wanted to like. It was an audiobook. I really, really wanted to like it. And it was just meh. It was I'll find it, but
like it's siblings in general. They're like
okay. I mean, I like that.
it's so good. And it's like read it and then tell me what you think.
Okay. I'll put it on my Goodreads list.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to find that one. But it was about witches. And there were 3 sisters and they were witches. And somebody's watching this and knows. But anyway, you could talk about whatever else and I'll just try and find it on my own.
Well, okay. So, in the spirit of talking about things that we're into recently.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I just finished reading a book called All the Fields. It's by Olivia Dade. And Olivia Dade, I also read her book Spoiler Alert, which is the predecessor to All the Fields. It's like this little universe that she's building. And the great and notable thing about these books is that the protagonists are fat women, like unabashedly living their lives and just whatever. And the universe is built around this TV show called Gods of the Gates. And everybody on that show is beautiful and fit and everything like that. And their love interests are these super hot, like ridiculously hot guys on it. And then the pairs respectively meet in each book and they start falling in love. And there are a lot of misunderstandings about, oh, I thought that you were saying that because I'm fat, or, oh, I thought you were saying that because everybody thinks I'm so ugly. But they both have a lot of heart. They're both really funny. They're both super sexy, like such sexy books. And they're just really enjoyable reads. Like it's not like, even though she tackles like a lot of really interesting issues that I think like maybe romance novels, and I'm not a big romance reader, so I'm probably mischaracterizing the genre as a whole. But the few that I have read, I don't think really delve into some of these things. Like one of the male protagonists has dyslexia, another one has ADHD, and so they navigate their own worlds differently, and how they one of them always thinks that he is thought to be stupid by everybody. The other one doesn't really care what anybody thinks about him. So that's a whole other view. They're really, really good books. The characters are written so well that you feel like you really get to know them. And like I said, they're hot. So check out both Spoiler Alert and All the Fields by Olivia Dade. I don't think that you will be disappointed. And the other thing that I'm into is, and I mentioned this on the Janet Jackson episode, is The Cleaning Lady on Fox. But yes, I've gone and done it again, fallen in love with the show on Fox in its first season. It is going to be probably tragic for me if they eventually cancel it, but they might not, because it's also the show with the strongest debut in recent history for Fox. So yes.
Speaking of, sorry, go ahead.
The main character is this woman, Tony, who is, she's Cambodian. Her husband is Filipino, and they have a kid who is severely immunocompromised. So she is in the country, in the US, undocumented, trying to get her son treatment. And she lives with her sister-in-law, who's also undocumented. Bye, Panda.
Bye, Panda.
But it's not just about that. Like, so Tony falls in with the wrong people who are like murdery and stuff. But also the main murder guy is super hot, and they develop a friendship. So they have a friendship. Staying on theme. They have a friendship, and then she and her sister-in-law have a friendship. So they're friends all over the place, and potentially sexy times ahead. Who knows?
Yeah, as long as it doesn't get canceled on you. But I'm glad to hear that you were saying it's their highest rated show on that channel in a long time, right?
It's the highest rated debut, I think.
Debut.
Or the else watching. I don't know. Either way, something that'll make them happy and probably not cancel it right away.
Okay. Because I was thinking like I started watching Abbott Elementary, which
Oh, I
apparently
love
is like
Oh, God.
the top
Show.
debuting show right now altogether, and it's really good. I really like the way, like, there's just something lately about these more positive shows, positive without being toxic positivity, without being
yes.
like everything is sunshine and rainbows. It's like, no, it's not. There are troubles, but like we communicate, we do positive things. Like, whoa, imagine that. So I've been watching that one, and the new remake of The Wonder Years, which I think they're doing a
Oh,
pretty
Oh,
good
that's
job with.
good. That's good. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'm behind a few episodes on that, but that's really good.
I thought it was done, and then I logged into Hulu the other night, and it said I had a new episode. I was like, "Oh, okay, great."
Yeah, I think I'm several behind on that one, but that's really good. I like that one.
yeah. I
Yeah,
like
but
all
definitely the
the
Abbott Elementary one is really good, and like the lead actress in that, she was in the Black Lady sketch show,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, she used to be a BuzzFeed person, so like I love seeing that, like, people from there go on to do bigger, better things. So I'm really excited
She's so
for her.
talented. She's so
Yeah.
talented. And as the character, she's so great because Janine is so like bubbly and positive, and she wants everybody to get all the things that they need and want, and but she also has like a competitive streak, even though she's like, oh, I'm not competitive, and then she like totally is.
Yeah, right. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And I love the guy, I forget his character's name, but he's playing the substitute. He's like, I'm just a sub.
Gregory.
That was that's the Everybody Hates Chris guy.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, he's grown up quite a bit.
He's become a handsome young man.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that show a lot. It's nice to have something short and light week to week.
Yes.
As much as I enjoy a good binge, I really appreciate the time to process episodes too. So like when my husband and I watch shows, he won't watch more than 2 episodes of something in a night anyway. But like just being able to have time to talk through the episode. So we just watched Archive 81.
Oh
yeah, I've heard about that one.
I think that you would really enjoy it, Erin.
Yeah, I know. I that's one on my list because I've heard about that one a lot from.
Yeah, I feel like there's mixed feelings about the finale, but I think a lot of that will depend on if it is a one and done or if there's a second season, or I'm not saying it was bad or good, but it just had some like weird things to it that
I think it had like a lot. No, never mind. I'm not going to say anything until Erin watches it, and then I will give her the lowdown on all of my opinions about Archive 81 on Netflix. Which is on Netflix, so who knows if it'll be canceled over the summer. That'll be a fun surprise.
It's true. Oh, and heads up again to any Ryan Murphy fans out there, because we are, of course, covering American Horror Story for our which I just finished my rewatch of the first season, Murder House. So we are going to be covering all of those for Patreon episodes. I'm going to try and record 2 seasons at a time and maybe just release them as 2 seasons for 1 episode. But anyway, American Horror Story is leaving Netflix on February 28th. It's still on Hulu and it's still on Prime. And American Crime Story is leaving. And that's the one I really want to point out because you can't really stream it anywhere else, I don't think. Not even on Hulu, which, is sad because it is an FX and Hulu has the FX thing. And I looked there and you couldn't. So unless you've got live TV. So really, American Crime Story is really good. So you have a couple weeks, Carla and Bex, to watch American Crime Story. The first 2 seasons, they're so good. I mean, the second season is a lot more intense, but watch them. They are really good. They're a lot better than Ryan Murphy usually is about things.
So is 911. Just wanted to point that out.
Oh my gosh, I've got to watch
Just
that.
letting that out there.
I
We are
like
covering that.
Pose.
So what?
I liked Pose. He did that one, right? He was on that
He
one.
does not get credit for that one in my mind.
Okay.
No, seriously, because he's a producer on it. He's like
Oh.
behind the scenes, but I don't want to give him too much credit on that because I think he attached himself to that because he has had a lot of issues with transphobia throughout his whole career.
Gotcha.
Especially Nip Tuck. Nip Tuck was horrendous when it came to that, and so I think he did it as a way of saying, "Look, I'm better about the transphobia,
Gotcha.
everyone."
But he
Because I'm
wasn't.
attached to this, so I don't like to give him too much credit for Pose, frankly.
We just
don't know.
covered Pose, and I like it like that on my Latinx Visions podcast recently because we were talking about like trans representation. Oh yeah,
I know. I'm
we
like,
got it.
look who we
Is
got.
this a Russian bot? It's not even a porn bot; it's a Russian bot.
I don't know who these people are, but
Well, I mean, I don't read Russian, but that could be sexy times in Russian.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they always say stuff like that. So
yeah, no, that's quite all right. Yeah, so when we were covering that and I like put the names of the people in charge, I actually inverted the order that they were listed online because his name was put first. And I was like, I wanted to put the Afro Latinx person who was involved in the production of the show first because that was like our theme this semester is Afro Latinidad, and so I was like, no, we're gonna highlight the names of the people that like did that work, right, that lived that experience and knew what to like. They were the ones bringing the actual storyline to it. So I'm not surprised.
I don't like giving him credit.
That's why I was say I'm not surprised that you said that because it's like it's very well done in terms of that representation, and that seems a bit out of character.
I mean, there are still issues with that. Sorry, there are still issues with that show, and with the creator has done some stuff that is not okay. Like people that are in that, like I think at the wrap party, I can't remember what Tiff said because Tiff and I were talking about that, and I can't remember, so I don't want to misquote. But I can't remember now what happened, and so it's not perfect by any means, but it's so much better than the stuff he typically does, especially when it comes to that I don't like to give him too much credit. That's why I keep saying it, because it's just like, there was a part of me that when we were doing Ryan Murphy last year, I'm like, well, should we revisit Pose since Pose is ending and we've done that before, we've covered that, and I'm like, no, because I don't want to lump it in with his stuff because I don't want to give him too much credit for good trans representation when he's done such shitty stuff with that for the most part. And he's really, he's so weird because his shows are so sexual. Like there's so much sex in a lot of his shows, not Glee, of course, but at least not that I remember from when I watched that show. With the exception of like that and a couple other things, but very rarely is sex on any of Ryan Murphy's shows sexy. Like it's very uncomfortable, and he's so into sexual assault and all this stuff. It's like this weird obsession with his, but he's so anti like pornography and anti stuff like that in his shows too. And he has a lot of BDSM in American Horror Story in particular, and he does not know how to handle that. Basically, he's just like, anybody that's into that, there's something sick and wrong with you. And he ends up doing a lot of stuff like that, which I don't know if he realizes he's doing. But
I will say too with Pose, like with Pose after the first season when they like got rid of the white characters.
Evan Peters, when they got rid of Evan Peters.
Yeah,
I was so happy that
the woman played his wife. But like kind of writing them off and actually focusing the whole story on the houses and the ballroom scene and all of that made the show much stronger, I thought.
Oh yeah, I have to say, because I have major issues with the way Evan Peters is used in a lot of Ryan Murphy stuff, and it's not Evan Peters' fault because I mean, I'm supposed to be a big fan of him, but if you go by social media, but most of his characters are annoying and written in like this weird way. Won't get into it, but what I appreciated so much about Pose is when I saw him in there, I'm like, oh, dang. And he gets involved with one of the characters, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is this going to be like a white savior? And he's going to be, and when they didn't do that, I was like, oh, that was amazing. And then when we didn't have to see him again, that was so, I was so.
Like, I totally forgot about them partway through the second season. I was like, oh yeah, there were some white characters last season, weren't there?
Yeah, and that was, I'm just so glad that they didn't turn it into a thing where, you know, it was
where he saved her from the life in the blah, blah. It's like, no, this was her life. This was her scene. And she went on to be so successful in the rest of that show. Like, her character development was just A+.
Well, and Evan Peters' character was transphobic. I don't care what anyone says. I mean, he was transphobic in that show. So that was another reason I don't think it would have worked. And that was another way you could tell that Ryan Murphy wasn't the complete because I think he's obsessed with Evan Peters, frankly. So I think that would have been like probably what he would have done with Evan Peters. I mean, they've got the new Jeffrey Dahmer show that's coming out called Monster, and Evan Peters plays Jeffrey Dahmer, and that's a Ryan Murphy thing. And I'm like,
well, you know,
this is going to be bad.
When we talk about how, you know, whether or not it's Evan Peters' fault, I mean, he keeps signing up for these things.
That's true.
So it's not exactly like he's being forced to do them.
Right. And I mean, he was in the WandaVision there. Like, it's not like he wouldn't have other opportunities, is what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Right? Like if he was like, oh, I work with this guy and no one else will hire me, maybe you give a little leeway then, but also then you start to question your abilities. Yeah. But like, there are other opportunities out there for him. So, yeah.
No, that's a very good point, because, and my problem with Evan Peters' characters in the American Horror Story universe, and it starts with Murder House, because he plays a character in Murder House Tate, who is like spoilers, but you find out he's actually a ghost, and he's been dead since 1994 because he shot up his high school and then he killed himself. And the way they paint this character, and the way there are so many teenage girls that like lust after this character, and he's like obsessed with this other character, Violet, who is alive until later on. And that's like the biggest ship in the American Horror Story universe. And it's so toxic, but not in a, like, it's toxic in a way that makes me uncomfortable only because of the fact that there are so many young teenage girls that like idolize his character. And a lot of characters he's played throughout the American Horror Story universe, with the exception of in Hotel, and I actually love him in Hotel, and in the first half of Double Feature and in Red Tide, I like him a lot in that too, are very much in that mold of like this brooding white young male teenager who's brooding and brooding and brooding, but very obsessive and very like, I don't know, it just bothers me. And I'm not trying to ship shame anyone at all, because it's fine it just bothers me only because it runs into that territory of, I know there are a lot of, in real life, a lot of school shooters are idolized by teen girls. And so that's why it bothers me, because I'm like, why did you have to make it where then you're saying that he did this because of the house? Or I'm like, no, I mean, so that's why I have a hard time with his characters most of the time, because a lot of them fall into that kind of realm kind of thing, with the exception of like, because in Murder House, he plays a version of H.H. Holmes, and he's so good. He is so flipping good in that scene. And he's funny. He's really funny, but not in that way of like, we should be idolizing this guy. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah. It's my biggest, one of my biggest critiques. Anyway, sorry, we can stop, but
I just have to go to bed soon.
I know Carla has to go. But thank you for being on, both of you. And we had fun time. fun times and we had serious times.
I thought that was a question first. We had
And we
fun
had fun
times.
Did we have fun?
Yeah.
I had
We had
fun.
fun.
No, I
we
did.
had friendship. We had porn. We had serious.
We had
And Russian
seasons in the
bots.
sun.
And robots. Yes.
Sorry.
We had Seasons in the Sun. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's a good song.
Island.
But...
We had Stranded and Strap-ons.
Well, we're gonna get it.
Someday I don't. I will
And
try
so are the
to-
characters.
Oh yeah. Except for apparently me until chapter 20.
Yes.
I'll
I mean,
just
you're
drag
writing
the
it
characters
short of that a lot. I mean, Brian doesn't need to exist past a couple of episodes. I'm just saying.
2 pages.
Yes, that's it.
Double space though. Only.
Great font.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
thank
we
you
landed
both.
on a deserted island, and Brian was alive, and oops, then he wasn't.
Yeah.
And he's like, we only type in Comic Sans. It's fine.
Well, thank you both, and thank you, Panda and Jen and Megan and anyone else who was watching and didn't say anything. Thank you.
I'm thinking about the porn bot because the porn bot did say that.
Yes. So good night. Happy
Good night.
Galentine's Day.